Morning here on New Day on TV3. My name is Beatrice. Coming up in the next few minutes. Health Minister warns board against interfering in day-to-day management of health facilities. Also on the program this morning, Interior Minister and Inspector General of Police engaged Muslims as part of efforts to ease recent religious tensions. And much later on the program, opposition New Patriotic Party expresses confidence of winning 2028 elections after election of regional executives across the country over the weekend. My name is Beatrice. Thank you very much for joining us on the program this morning. The Minister for Health, Kwabena Minta Akando, has called for a clearer understanding of the distinct roles and responsibilities of boards and management in Ghana's health institutions. The minister says boards are responsible for providing strategic oversight and governance, while the day-to-day administration of institutions rests with management, stressing that the day-to-day running of the institutions is not the responsibility of the board or board members. He made the remarks on the second day of the Ministry of Health's high-level media review retreat in Ho, where participants are undergoing training on corporate governance and the roles of boards in health institutions. Mr. Minta Akando further urged health institutions to exercise greater prudence in the use of public resources, particularly expenditure on seminars, training and programs and official travel. In other news, the Ghana Grid Company Limited, GRIDCO, on Sunday embarked on an exercise to replace a damaged transmission tower at Ashaiman. The affected tower forms part of the 161 kV Tema Achimota transmission line and was damaged after a fuel tanker exploded while welding work was being carried out on its tank within the transmission line's right-of-way. Now, this exercise resulted in about 15-hour power cut in parts of the capital city. Here's the General Manager for External Communications at the Electricity Company of Ghana, Dr. Charles Ni Ayiku, speaking to TV3 earlier.
Minister for Energy and Green Transition, Honorable Dr. John Abdullah Jinabo, has inspected these areas and has also informed businesses, persons and land users across these areas, especially those encroaching on this transmission line right of way across the country, to cease or they will face prosecution. We also want to entreat all persons around these corridors to move away. The company, that's ECG, in collaboration with the Ministry of Energy and Transition, is ensuring that the known faults within our communities, our various areas, are worked on, replacement of transformers within these areas. So if all of these things are going on, and as you can attest, I mean, there is really stable power across these areas. If all of these things are going on and we have persons who are encroaching or creating problems or interfere with our operations, I mean, it's going to create more problems for us. So, yes, we need to look at these issues and then ensure that we protect our installations.
Now, the General Overseer of the Action Chapel International, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, has raised questions about the effectiveness of Ghana's laws and regulatory systems, particularly in relation to illegal mining and the gold trade, claiming that some buyers have records of illegal gold purchases that are not reflected in Ghana's official records. He was speaking during a church service last Sunday.
Pray for the gold board. And I'll tell you why. With what I was told by this sheikh, And the calls I had that they can't get the gold like before illegally, so they want some channels to the gold board so they can purchase the gold now from the gold board. It's clear to me that the gold board is dealing with a very powerful movement. People very, very established who knows and understand the field and how to do this, and don't want the right thing to be done. And in the name of politics, we are destroying the future of our children and our grandchildren. So I'm going to dedicate a lot of time today for us to intercede for our nation, because I'm concerned about some things, and I am not speaking as a prophet, as much as some may be prophetic. I am speaking as a student of prophecy and a student of history. I take time to study history a lot, and some things are bothering me, and one of them is how we are managing the future of our children and our grandchildren when it comes to our water bodies, when it comes to the land that produce crop and the food we eat. We are poisoning the land. There are so many things we are doing. If you look at the way we are running our society as a country and nation, the future is in trouble.
In other news, the opposition New Patriotic Party says it has confidence in its officers elected across the country to lead its election 2028 agenda. Director of Communications and a political analyst have been assessing the outcome of the regional elections as the party set its sight on its national executive officers election slated for October 3.
The elections were organized in all 16 regions of the country. Notable victories include the election of former Health Minister Dr. Bernard Okuboy as chairman of the Greater Accra region, with Odinoho Kweku Apia winning in the party's stronghold, the Ashanti region. Some of the winners shared their vision with the press.
The next thing is to unite the party. Nothing than unity.
We need to do a lot in unifying the party and putting our ambitions together.
2028. Okay.
The first point of call, our profound agenda now is to find a way to unite our parties together, to bring everybody on board, to prepare our party for victory in 2028.
The party says it is satisfied and stands prepared to effectively campaign to win election 2028. Richard Ahiagba is the Director of Communication.
The election generally has been very peaceful across the regions, and we're thankful to God for that. The outcome so far has been well received.
Political analyst Dr. Samuel Efriye believes the party must remain focused and united in order to run an effective campaign.
It's giving a positive direction for the MPP, and it's a new sign for them. And I think the party is being energized. We are hoping that the national one will be something that also some big changes will also need to come around to come, so that the party will see itself ready for the future elections.
The party has now set its sights on its October 3 national executive elections.
On Monday, nomination opens, and that begins that process. We have some 6-7 weeks to campaign, and ultimately in Kumasi, we'll put in place our national executives, and that really puts our party in a pole position to begin to organize effectively for victory in 2028. So I think that where we are now, would say that the party is almost done and ready to take on the fight and actually take it to the NDC.
In a related development, there's growing tension within the New Patriotic Party in the Nandom constituency over a dispute involving the appointment of 8 constituency officers and their participation in the just-ended regional executives election. Now, concerned elected constituency executives say the matter has not been resolved transparently and are raising questions over due process, impartiality and the integrity of the election. A report by correspondent Ibrahim Wangara.
For some MPP members in Nandom, what should have been a routine regional party election has instead become a day of uncertainty, argument, and questions over who has the right to vote.
Because there's a skewed interest. The boss of all police people. Yes, the boss of all police people. Because of illegal business. We can't take that. We can't take that.
At the center of the confusion is a dispute over 8 constituency appointments with 2 competing lists and accusations of unfair treatment. Elected Nandom constituency executives have raised serious concerns over an unresolved dispute that involved the sole appointment of 8 constituency officers. The disputed positions include constituency financial secretary, deputy organizer, deputy women's organizer, deputy youth organizer, deputy Nasara organizer, research officer, electoral affairs officer, and persons with disability coordinator. The concerned constituency executives say they were still waiting for an official verdict on the matter after they petitioned the party headquarters when they discovered that persons whose names appeared on a rival appointment list had been included in the register and were being allowed to vote. They say the situation left them asking a simple question: who exactly is entitled to vote?
We find it deeply disturbing that while the promised verdict had not been officially communicated to us, persons whose eligibility was directly affecting the dispute were reportedly being facilitated to participate in the election. We therefore ask, if the matter was still under determination, why were the disputed persons being facilitated to vote? And if a decision had already been taken, why was that decision not formally communicated to all affected parties?
While one side is demanding that the disputed names be removed from the voters' register and not allowed to vote, the Regional Elections Committee say their hands are tied as they can only work with the register submitted to it.
Because for us, our job is simple. We vetted candidates and they are to be voted for. As elections committee, we don't determine who has voting rights. When we were submitted the album, we submitted same to the Electoral Commission, and the Electoral Commission works with that. So whoever has his name on the album, you are the one expected to vote. I didn't build the album. It was built in Nandom.
The Nandom Constituency Executives Committee are calling on the party's national leadership, National Elections Committee, and Regional Executive Committee to intervene, review the circumstances surrounding the disputed appointment, and ensure that all parties are treated equally.
1. Remove the names of the 8 persons in dispute immediately. 2. Provide the parties with the reasons for the decision rather than merely communicating an unexplained outcome. We also call on them to conduct an immediate review over the events at the voting center and determine whether any election official acted contrary to instructions or established electoral procedures, and sanctions where necessary should be given.
While the political and constitutional arguments continue behind the scenes, ordinary party members are left watching the dispute unfold around them. Ibrahim Wangara, TV3 News, Nandom.
The evidence that We return to Accra, and the Kwabena Atomic Market traders have protested against the proposed relocation to Taifa Burkina Market for the construction of a 24-hour economy market. The traders argue that the relocation would disrupt their livelihood and leave them without places to live and trade.
Nearly 300 traders are said to be affected when the redevelopment of the Kwabenya Atomic Market gets underway. The Ga East Municipal Assembly, led by its Chief Executive Edmund Agbo, engaged the traders to brief them on plans to temporarily relocate them from the Kwabenya Atomic Market to the Taifa Burkina Market. But the proposal has met resistance from some of the traders who are concerned about losing their current trading space permanently once the redevelopment project is completed. Some of the traders are therefore calling on the Assembly to consider implementing the project in phases, allowing them to continue selling their goods at the market while construction is ongoing.
The best service said, what did Russia see and upper one side? Now start saying I am with Truman because Taifa market here okay. My customers phone in our economy.
Abubakar Mohammed, development planner at the Ga East Municipal Assembly, explained why the Taifa Burkina Market has been identified as the proposed relocation site.
To write to another institution to request for land space, prepare the land space, the cost that is involved, and finding money to take care of that. It is more or less saying that we don't have space for the project or to relocate the traders. They should stay as it is, and then the project will go away. So all the other options, if you weigh them against the Taifa Burkina market in terms of space, readiness, and then time, you realize that you get to the conclusion that Taifa Burkina is the most appropriate place that we can take the traders to.
Municipal Head of Works, Engineer Justin Glover, said the proposed model market can only be constructed on the Dome Kwabenya land.
With this Kwabenya Atomic Market, it is a 24-hour economic market done by all the municipalities in Ghana. They needed a bigger space. And that space was the number one requirement. So we have two types. One for districts, and then another one for municipalities.
Tafo Mensah. He is representing Ahafo region. I'm just talking to you about the chairman for the 16 regions of the country, Mohammed Batima Adam, who is the MPP Northern Regional Chairman-elect, Alhaji Idris Suleimana for the Savannah region, Jeff Konedru for the Eastern region. And we'll be going through all of this in the course of the conversation. Of course, as part of our conversation on the big issue as well, whether indeed this represents a new dawn for the NPP. And of course, the conversation we started having last week following that unfortunate accident that claimed 12 lives on the Ofanko Road and street lights. We'll be continuing with our conversation as well and see what could be done days after this accident. Are there any efforts at all towards fixing faulty street lights? And also a number of people are still talking about the need to revisit the conversation about which kind of trucks and vehicles we allow on our major roads, what time, and how do we ensure that the regulatory bodies are enforcing whatever rules and regulations that we have on our roads, just to make our roads safer for all of us. And so that is something that we'll go deeply into as well, even during the This Morning segment, plus the MPP's election. And so we're throwing two of our subjects to you this morning for us to share your thoughts with us, whether the elections really represent a new dawn for the MPP, and also the need for us to fix our street light and ensure that we are implementing, as it were, regulations concerning which vehicles are on our roads. But this morning, also for the big issue, we'll have our regular panel members joining us. Andrew Apia Dankwa, who is Director of Legal Affairs for the United Party. He will be joining us on the panel this morning. Fifi Buafo is a former Cocoa head of corporate affairs with the Cocoa Board. And also we'll be having Emmanuel Coutin, who is Executive Director, Africa Center for Security and Counterterrorism. He'll be joining us as well. And Elikem Kotoko, Deputy CEO, Forestry Commission. All of them will be joining us to have a conversation on the MPP's elections over the weekend and also the faulty street lights. We'll be bringing you a special report from the Teshi Enclave and what the situation equally is like over there. Of course, it's a reflection of really what's happening across the country and the need for us to pay particular attention to this. As you recall, last week again, we spoke about this and we had some of our panel members telling us about the need for us to equally invest in streetlights if we are going to be constructing roads. And so once again, welcome to TV3 Newday. My name is Beatrice Edu, and of course, in the shortest of time, my colleague Nash Shoko is here joining us, and we'll be running the show together. But I'm reminding you, last Friday, we gave you jackpot, 5,000 Ghana cedis to 2 of you. Today, we're giving you 500 cedis to 3 of you. You want to start playing as early as possible because the more you play, the higher your chances of winning. So if you spent all your monies over the weekend, don't worry. That's an opportunity to get a part of the 500 Ghana cedis. Just dial *439#. You follow the prompt. You pick your favorite platform, which is right here, number 2, TV3. And so keep playing. And if you play very early and a lot, we'll see your numbers displayed on the screen, and of course you get the chance of winning. Now you look amazing.
Thank you, Beatrice. So do you. I think red looks great on you. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
it's been a long weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a very long one, and it's interesting to see the results. I think from a lot of the results we have seen from the NPP regional elections as the party reorganizes ahead of 2028. A lot of people took keen interest in the Ashanti region to see who was going to substantively replace Chairman Wontumi, and the many conversations arising from there. And I saw that there was a bit of a scuffle in some regions as well.
Yes, in Nandom.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a bit of a scuffle. We expected a very smooth, peaceful, trouble-free regional elections. But of course, I think nowadays it is not unusual to see an election with scuffles. It's not unusual. But at the end of the day, I think peace prevailed.
Yes.
And yeah.
Because I think the perception is that, or the general understanding is that it was generally peaceful.
Yeah.
But even the one with the Nandom, aside from the confusion, I think
Yeah.
the main thing was certain names on the register,
that
they
had
thought
not been.
Because it was, the executives that compiled it, they should just do the right thing based on, what they told the press and deal with it. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like you said, it was generally peaceful. It has ended. There are no problems thereon. And so we're going to bring you a list of, we'll bring you as many as we can of those who have won, those who have retained their seats, new entrants, and so on. So stay with us. We'd also like to hear from you on your thoughts about the process, the winners, and what it means for the opposition MPP as they reorganize ahead of the 2028 general elections. There are some who have said this election was a little too early. Others have said it's right on time. The NPP is reorganizing properly, and they are going to be all the better for it in the next elections. You let us know what you think. But let's take a look at some of the winners from last weekend in a few minutes. Also, yes, you mentioned we're going to be talking about streetlights.
Yes.
If you've driven, I don't know if you drive at night, because I know you go home early.
I do.
You drive at night.
Yes.
So you've seen some areas. I went on a long walk from the University of Ghana to Obosmase some time ago, a couple of weeks ago.
Obosmase is just after Peduase Lodge, is that right?
It's further down.
Okay.
It's a 30-kilometer walk.
Oh my God.
So I was walking from midnight. I started my walk at 12 a.m. and I finished at 6 a.m. with a few others. While I was walking, I noticed that the street lights...
Midnight to 6 a.m.?
Yes, at midnight. So we started at 12 a.m. I started at 12 a.m., but others started at 9 p.m. because they walked 52 kilometers, but I walked 30.
Okay.
Now, I'm telling you about this because of the dark patches on our roads. Now, we did this walk without any security or police. It was just us. And from the University of Ghana through Oyarifa, so from University of Ghana to Medina, Adenta, and then towards Oyarifa, very well lit. Very well lit. The street lights work. There were no dark patches.
But I've used that road. There are some lights that don't work.
So when you hit Oyarifa, there is about a 300-meter walk, which is dark. That was the only dark patch that I encountered on that night. So it's just at Oyarifa. Now, after Oyarifa, the street lights work all the way to Peduase, Ayimensa toll booth. Now, at the toll booth, you begin, it's well lit. When you go further in, it's pitch black.
Yes.
Now, that road is already scary when the lights are on.
They call it the Ebri Highway.
Yeah, so the Peduase...
Very meandering and narrow as well.
Exactly. On a normal day, even in the afternoon, if you're not very familiar with the road, it can get very difficult.
Yes.
It's a difficult drive. It's not an easy, breezy drive. So imagine driving there at night, and for those of you who have driven there at night, you know what I'm talking about. And we were walking. So imagine being on that road at night. It's pitch black. You can't even tell, where the bends are.
Yes.
And it goes on for a while. It's not a small patch.
Yeah.
It goes on for a while before you hit the lights again. And throughout the walk, all I was thinking was, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. These lights need to work. I don't lose sight of the fact that, and I commend, I beg your pardon, whoever is responsible for the stretch between the University of Ghana all the way to Oyarifa and then all the way to Ayimensa. But from Ayimensa to Peduase, this is not the first time I'm noticing this. I use that road a lot. It's been like that for a while.
Yes.
And by a while, I mean years. Now, we know that sometimes the street lights come up and then people go and steal them. We've seen there's actually, it was a trending video about a month ago of somebody carrying a street light on his shoulder, the whole thing, not just the bulb, the whole thing on his shoulders, walking to whoever he was, we don't know. But it was a video that was trending. So we're aware that the street lights do go up, and then we go and steal them and bring them down and then turn around to complain. The conversation has to be two-sided. So we're going to look at it. We're going to look at it into detail today. We're talking about the street lights in Accra. there are many that are not working. So if the street lights in your neighborhood aren't working, you can let us know, and then we're going to advocate as much as we can for you and your community. But more specifically, we're going to go to some areas in Accra, Teshi, and Tema in particular, where residents have complained about their street lights not working and the damning consequences it has on road users and people in the community as well. So if your the street lights in your neighborhood aren't working, you would want to reach out to us. We'll put out our WhatsApp number on the screen in a moment, and you can join in at this morning conversation. You're watching TV3 Newday. It's now time for This Morning.
measure money number. So 2028. The non-chairman himself may wonders. Okay, that was born ready. The Bayer Regional Youth Organizer. The catcher almost say a Bayer wonders. I will have. At the motive, I see you can see and a Warine Bono Nana. No, a general secretary. Yeah, we need 26 from I was they could see at the yeah, we need 26. It's in chat in the Munio. Then catch almost a wonders a year 2016. Chat in that year, but yes, I won this 2028.
I would like to say thank you to all our constituency executives, CHESCON, all the Council of Elders, Council of Patrons, and all others who came in here to vote. I want to express our sincere gratitude to all of them for having elected us to lead the New Patriotic Party in the next 4 years in the Eastern region. This election and this victory, to me, is a victory of the New Patriotic Party. The first point of call, our profound agenda now is to find a way to unite our party together, to bring everybody on board, to prepare our party for victory in 2028. That is the task ahead of us. I know it's going to be an arduous task, but yes, we are prepared to go on and grab the wheels and get the job done. Bring the party people together and forge ahead as one unit and prepare ourselves for the battle.
Yes, you're watching TV3 Newday. This is This Morning segment, and we're talking about the just ended NPP regional elections. Those who came out victorious, those who didn't, new entrants, and those who have retained their seats. Let's bring you some of the details of those who won first, and Beatrice has all of that for us. Beatrice.
Indeed, and we start from the Ashanti region, and I guess you can understand why we start from the Ashanti region. The Ashanti region has been the epicenter of conversations following the issue about Chairman Wontumi, who prior to this election had been the regional chairman for quite some time. And the elections, of course, after his summary boy issue, which is still ongoing anyway, there were a lot of expectations for the region as regards who will be replacing him. And there you have it. Following the weekend's election, we have Odenehu Kweku Apia now replacing Chairman Wontumi. And I know that in the course of the conversation, we'll be bringing a lot more about the personalities who have been elected and what it means for the Ashanti region. For many elections, the Ashanti region is seen as the headquarters of the NPP, as it were. So whoever is elected becomes very relevant. And when I say headquarters, not like the administrative headquarters, but the election hub, as it were, for the party. And so whoever is elected again becomes very relevant. And there will be conversations about how Mr. Odenehu Kweku Apia would help regain as you know, in 2024, the NPP lost a bit more than expected, even in its own stronghold, which is the Ashanti region. And so the conversations will concentrate on really how this man would help the Ashanti region to regain some of the votes that they lost, and really moving forward into 2028. The NPP believes that during the 2028 general election, it would win. And the Ashanti region will play a very critical role as well in whether or not the party is going to win, which is why the regional chairman and what kind of politics and the caliber of person he is would bring on the election indeed is important. And so there you have it. Odinihu Kwekwe appear. And like I said, we're bringing you a lot more of who they are later in our conversations. Kwame Bafo Abronye, another controversial person, and he's had his own issues with the law and some of the commentaries that have come up, and even his recent comments about the judge, which led him into trouble, and how people have interpreted, how his issue has been handled, whether or not what he did really merited the kind of attention that he got in terms of the law. And so, yes, he's retained his seat, but it tells you that the delegates are happy with him, irrespective of what's going on and what the people are saying about him. So he remains in the Bono region, and he's retained his seat, and he's also held that position for quite some time. Alhaji Fuseni Nuruddin, representing the Northeast region. And that's also another area that had quite some interesting election results, even in the 2024 general election. And so, again, the NPP would equally be concentrating on how to work out, indeed, the kind of numbers that they will be getting from the Northeast region going into the 2028 general election. And then you have Makafui Kofi Wanya, who is representing the Volta region. Ideally and generally, if you look at our election history, the Volta region has not really been a stronghold of the NPP. It's been a stronghold of the NDC, just like Ashanti for a long time has been for the NPP. And so is he the one who is going to cause the changes that the NPP needs? How much extra votes can he get for the party as the chairman, the man who is going to steer affairs and the internal issues within the Volta region, and moving into the 2028 general election? And so his position as well becomes very critical because of the history of the Volta region when it comes to major elections. And so Makafui Kofi Wanya would have a lot of work to do in the Volta region, and the party will be measuring him by that. Ignatius Kwesi Afrifa, NPP Western Regional Chairman-elect, and so he will be steering affairs in the Western region. Elvis Figo Awonekai, Upper East region. He has been elected.
Is he a new entrant?
I beg your pardon?
Is he a new entrant?
It seems so. Like I said, we'll be bringing you a lot more detail regarding Nekai, exactly. So he's representing the Upper East region. Robert Safo Mensah, he's been around for quite some time, and he is representing the Ahafo region. And so he's a chairman-elect, steering the affairs for the party going into the major election. Mohammed Batima Adam, NPP Northern Regional Chairman-elect, and he would equally have a lot of work to do as well. Alhaji Idrisu Suleimana, another man who has been around as well for quite some time, NPP Savannah Regional Chairman-elect. And then Jeff Kunedu, Eastern Regional Chairman-elect. And we had Bernard Okoboy, being elected as the chair for the Greater Accra region.
That's my former member of parliament.
Exactly, yes. And he's also traveled quite a distance or a journey, as it were, representing, that was the Lejo Kuku area?
Yes, Lejo Kuku.
Yes, and I remember the story he personally told about how he lost the election, the fact that he didn't go for naming ceremonies among others, and funerals, exactly. And people expecting that he would give them some, monies and, quite petty reasons he gave why he lost the election. And as you recall, it was under his leadership as Member of Parliament that we saw that stretch the Agblizan Manette
the
road.
Lekma Highway.
The Lekma, exactly.
Was after many years of lamentation.
Yes.
It was constructed.
Yes.
And I remember the people were very grateful.
Yes.
to him for seeing that project through, and yet he was not retained as member of parliament for Lejikuku. And that is where the conversation about the people of the constituency and how very quickly they changed their minds about which parties to support. So it actually brought up the conversation about whether or not Lejikuku can be said to be the stronghold of any political party.
Because they change almost every 4 years.
Because the people change their minds.
Yes.
And it sort of goes to tell you that the people will vote for you based on your performance
and how they feel about
you, what you say,
yes,
your message, and so on, and not simply because you belong to a political party. Like has been said about many other constituencies. This is an X stronghold or a Y stronghold, and so people have said even if you brought a tuber of yam and put the party colors on that tuber of yam, the people will vote for that tuber because it belongs to X or Y party.
Yes.
But that cannot be said about the people.
Indeed, and for me, Okuboy's story was quite interesting because, I mean, you talk about the road not being fixed. I remember Nino Tedua, the late Nino Tedua, who also was a member of parliament for the area. As far back as 2011, before the 2012 election, he was talking about the need for us to, or just around that time actually, talking about the need for us to construct that road, and it took so long until that was done under Okuboy, and yet as we've just said here, he was voted out because people will just change their minds. And so let's look at really the regional contribution to Baumia's 2024 general election. 2024 votes during the general election. Ashanti region, as we've said here, is actually the stronghold of the MPP. And so you would expect that indeed you have some of the highest numbers coming from that part of the country. And indeed, the figures we have here confirm that 14.6%. That's the highest, really, of all the 16 regions that we have, followed by the Greater Accra.
29.4% for Ashanti.
Yes. Actually, yes, 29.4%. So that was contribution to Baumia's 2024 vote. So that was the Ashanti region, but it shouldn't come as a surprise because that is historically known as the stronghold of the MPP. And then you have Greater Accra region, and you know that if you monitor Ghana's elections, the Greater Accra region, Central region, plus others determine who becomes the president
because of the swing voters.
Exactly, and so for Baumia to have 10.8, that was actually 14.6 coming from the Greater Accra region, and of course Eastern region as well, 10.6%. Central region 8.2%, Northern region 8%, Western region 5.9%, Bono region 4.1%. So again, Abronye, yes, he's been there for some time, but 4.1%. The question is, what is he going to do to improve, as it were, the numbers that they got in 2024? Northeast region, I did mention that there's a lot of work to be done in Northeast region. And perhaps the new person who has been elected, I don't know what targets the party might have given him, or he has set for himself 2.9. He may want to look forward to increasing that. And then Bono East, 2.7%, Western North, 2.7. Again, I have for 2.4, 2.3 in Upper East region, 1.9 in Upper West region. So that's all equally an area that the regional chairman would want to put in some sort of strategies, as it were. And there's a need really to improve the fortunes of the party within that area. OT region 1.9%, and of course the OT region, as you know, that's where we got the South, the people who were not allowed to vote in the 2020 general election, exactly, and all the controversies that came, and eventually they had the opportunity to have the member of parliament elected in the 2024 general election. Savannah region, not so good, 1.2, and then the Volta region. And we've spoken about the Volta region. You see the huge contrast between what the Volta region gave the MPP in 2024, 1.2%, because it's the stronghold of the NDC, and 29.4% in the Ashanti region. And so basically, really, these are the figures here. So these numbers would guide the newly elected regional chairman on what they need to do perhaps listening to the sentiments of the people and what kind of measures they need to put in place if indeed they have the ambition of increasing the fortunes of the party going into the 2024 general election, 2028 general election.
Thank you, Beatrice, for bringing us all of the details, the winners, their numbers, and what it means for the opposition New Patriotic Party as they reorganize going into 2028. What do these newly elected, or for those who are retaining their seats, these regional chairmen need to do? And is this the right time for this election to have taken place? Is one of the topics which has dominated discussions about the regional elections which took place over the weekend, which was largely peaceful and a success to the party. Now, for those who say that, well, this is a little too early, those who say, well, it's right on time, let us know exactly what your reasons are for these sentiments. We're going to put up our WhatsApp number in a moment. But when we get into big issues this morning, we'll discuss this regional elections a little further and bring you more details about who's saying what and what it all means. In the meantime, let's turn our attention to the problems on our streets. Particularly, we're going to be talking about our street lights. And so if you live in any neighborhood where your street lights are not working, let us know exactly where, and we will highlight them on the show this morning. But before that, let's talk a little more about the NPP regional elections and what it means going into the 2028 general elections. We're going to talk to Dr. Samuel Efriye. He's a political analyst and he's joining us now. Good morning, Dr. Samuel Efriye.
Yeah, good morning, Anne.
Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure always, and hope your weekend was good.
Amazing. I hope yours was good too. Let's get into the conversation this morning. We saw the NPP organize and elect their various regional chairmen for the party over the weekend. Now, we've seen how some of the new entrants showed up and how some of those who, previously held the positions have retained them. Let's start with the Ashanti region, which, has been the center of attention because of the troubles surrounding the former chairman, Chairman Wontumi, and the new entrant. How does it strike you?
Well, now it's so interesting to, at the weekend, to look at how the NPP was to elect their new executive, the regional executive based from the polling stations, electoral area elections. So there was much more concern, as you're saying, if you concentrate our attention on the Ashanti region, where the immediate past executive chairman is incarceration. So there was some kind of a little bit of the impact of Chairman Wontumi in those that will be elected. That whether still Chairman Wontumi still have some kind of influence, and also the contestant that has been with him for the past two consecutive elections, that is Chairman Kuka, as we always know. So there was this kind of interest for these parties, and it's the region that's been illustrated by your media team about the analysis that they were making. So this chairmanship race at the weekend was very, very, very so much interest in terms of how voters, delegates will change the dynamics. And I've been saying that for all this while that the NPP needs a rebrand in terms of their leadership, so that it can just give delegates or maybe the citizens kind of a new hope, because of what it happened. Because even in this region, they lost about 5 seats. So it behoves on the delegates to ensure that they elect someone who will change the dynamics, who will change the face of the MPP, especially in the region. So that was what was happening, and it was so fearful. And Chairman Kuka has been there for a while. So all of a sudden we realized that the Honorable Kukufu, who was supposed to be at the national
level to contest for secretary, general secretary, then came down within, I think, about 2 months or 3 months to show an interest in the chairmanship. So it was so baffling for all of us. But it went on, and you realize that looking at the votes and the shift that went in for the election, Chairman Kuka had a lot of his people being elected. But it is not only Chairman Kuka. When you look at the dynamics, you have Chairman Wontumi guys also inside. You also have Honorable, I've forgotten the name, Ken. Also have his people. You also have Brian, 1 or 2. So the dynamics is changed for the new Patriotic Party in terms of the Ashanti region. It's quite unfortunate that the secretary that people were hoping, because but I believe that because of its alignment or maybe the role of the regional minister, who is his friend, uses social media platform to canvass for funds for him. So it made him to lose the elections about 11%, which is more than what is expected. That is for Yando. As we know, he was the communication director for the Ashanti region. But one of our colleagues, that is a good friend of mine, Francois, he is a lecturer at KUSC, won for the secretary position. So it is quite interesting, and I think that it might give a new hope for the region as for the MPP, because most of them were not being elected. Just 1 or 2 that changed their position for their former position to the current position that they have been elected. So Ashanti region is quite interesting, and it's one of, I think, for now, one of the best, maybe for the elections to elect people to their various, because it has a different kinds of background, different kinds of people. Because when you look at the first chairmanship, the first vice is Jantua. Jantua, that's the current Brekum chairman of, that is the football. You also have the second vice, who is from the Bosontwe constituency, where Chairman Wontumi come from. And so you realize that they have that kind of level of interest in the executive. So it's interesting. And quietly, I believe that most of them will fight for the new brand that they want the MPP to be seen in the region.
Now, still on the Ashanti region, we know that it's a stronghold of the NPP, and the chances of the party in the region to perform well is very high. How much of a task does this new chairman have to ensure that the party continues to retain its CTS and thrive and show out properly in the 2028 elections?
Yes, I think the first thing, the task for the new chairman is to ensure that he brings all people on board. I think yesterday I saw on the social media that he visited chairman, that is Honorable Kukufu, at his residence, and they had a chat and reconciliation. So the first attempt is to get in touch with the loyalists of Chairman Wontumi. He has his people in the system, some few people that they can get in touch with them. Because without unity, it will be very, very difficult for the new chairman to make an impact. Mm-hmm. And because and he has to also blend. As you look at the executives, you can realize that, as I said earlier, it has a different background, different interests. So he needs to bring all of them. If it comes to communication, then he has to ensure that he is not only Kuka guys that will tend to be the people that will be communicating for the party. When it comes to, so we need to. Then as I know him afar, Chairman Kuka is someone who can make that kind of unity that the Ashanti region is expecting, because he has a leverage for anybody, any kind of people and any group that because he started a long time ago for this kind of election, and I think he deserves it, and I believe that he has to work hard to ensure that the unity that he has, and then also those people who have been disgranted. People have a lot of issues. When you go deeper, people have a lot of issues, and I believe that he has to work on that, so that the resentment, how people see the party, that made them not to come and vote during the last election, that dynamics will change for the party. So he has a big task ahead of him, seriously. And also the youth. And you know, the regional minister is having a lot of impact on our Ashanti region. That the regional minister is a young man, and he's changing the face of the NDC in the region, making the NDC attractive. So he also has a new task to reposition the party to also be attractive to the youth, as the regional minister is focusing on. And that is one of the biggest tasks. And the new youth organizer, which has been Senior Martin, who has been one of them for all this while. And he being a young, when you look at Kuka age, you look at the age, he's not too much old as compared to Honorable Kokofu. So he can also appeal to the youth as well. And that is what they will make him to make the necessary changes. Because the regional minister is a factor in this election, that is the coming election, as he is always on grounds for the NDC party to be worked on. So that is one of the issues.
Dr. Samuel Fuye, Beatrice here, you've partially answered the question I'm going to ask you, which is that if you look at the figures in 2020, how much the Ashanti region contributed to the former President Nana Addo's vote, it was around 70-something%, if my figures are right. Now, you come to 2024, and it dropped all the way to 29.4%. You've talked about the youth and the need for the MPP person to concentrate on that, because to win an election, you don't just need your party people. You need others to come on board. What extra things can he do?
Well, you know, as I said, the youth needs some kind of attention from the new chairman, and that will be very, very, very fiercely seriously need to be given an attention, because the data proves that the region is turning to the NDC because of the NDC strategies that they put in place. And so if the MPP, the new chairman, doesn't come out with a new youth approach or new strategy, the youth strategy to change or maybe to divert the attention of the young ones to the MPP, that will be much more. So the new chairman needs to be visible in all the youth programs, and maybe also go to all the hinterlands where these young ones can be found. And probably it will be on the social media. And, you know, the regional minister is every day on the social media. So the MPP needs to be active on the social media platform and need to have someone who is the level of the young ones. And that is what might change the mindset of these young ones. And they have to be closer with them. They have to come up with any program, anything that has to be make the party attractive. That is what the young ones might be looking at from the new chairman, because the dynamics of politics in Ashanti region has seriously been changed, not from the old ways where you go to all these market women. Yes, they are there, but the focus of the new strategy of politicians is to target these young ones who have been one of the population of even our country, and also the population of the voters. They are the ones that need to be looked at. So it has a big role to play in this kind of strategy for the Ashanti region. That's why I said earlier that the party needs a rebrand and they have changed the face of the party, but now they have to put in place about activities that will make them more visible. So the party needs to be visible. The party needs to be seen as changing the dynamics in the region, and much more on the young ones will play a key role. So they have to get people who are being acceptable, at least can attract people within the region for them to be part of their new leadership and the strategy for the 2028
Doc,
election.
I want us to go to the Bono area where we have Abronye retain his seat. And over the period, or a lot of the time during elections, we talk about the need for us to deal with inflammatory language and politics of insult. And you can attest to the fact that Abronye, for instance, has had a lot of run-ins with the law, and yet the delegates retained him, irrespective of all of that. What does that say about the kind of politics that we have accepted as a country?
Yes, that is quite interesting when you look at the chairmanship. And when you look at the figures, it's so interesting where he got 201 and the closest contestant also got about 44 or so, and the other one was 34 or something. So it presupposes that Abronia in his constituency or maybe in the region may not have attributed to the success of the last election to him personally. Maybe there may be other reasons, because for me personally, I thought that the region or maybe the new Petroleum, because they lost the elections swiftly, anyone who is a current executive need to be looked at so that they will change the dynamics on the ground. So it was so interesting for Abronia to be seen in the scene to have won that margin. And that is quite interesting for the region, because the contribution of even parliamentary seats was just only one. And that is quite unpardonable for him to be elected. But now the delegates have seen the reason to elect him, only apart from his kind of issues he has with the law and how his comments and other things. That I don't think that they even looked at that. I think they looked at him as someone who can lead the region. And on the same time, it also depends on the contestant. You see, if someone who is not visible in the region, who is not active in the region, you just give an opportunity for the one that is in there to lead the party. At the same time, it behoves on him to maybe change his style of leadership in the region, just to change the dynamics. If not, I think that it can be repeated in the next election. So abroad needs to check one or two things. I know sometimes people can also change their communication messages or their message when they want to go for elections. Maybe he just got in touch with them. Maybe he just gave them a new hope. Maybe he also gave an issues about how he can conduct himself. And these are the things that maybe have did work for him. But he needs a lot of work to do in that region. The region is not performing for the MPP. The region is so unattractive for the party in that region, and he needs a lot of work. And I believe that he can also work on the unity, because during the election there was issues about him and 10 and others. So 10 people, how would they come together within that that region to work themselves? So he also has a big task to bring everyone on board and change his style of communication so that the party will be attractive. The party need people who will make the party more visible, attractive, giving hope for their party members. And I think that is the task ahead of him. But sometimes we can't say that delegates, you don't know, but they have made their choice, and he has a lot of work to do as such.
All right, interesting points there. We would hope that all that you have said about the things that he maybe has done, changing his communication strategy and the sorts of things that he puts out in the public would actually change a bit as the NPP works towards 2028. Now, let's wrap up with the final question on the Volta region and the chairman elected, Makafui Huanya. Would you say that, considering the fortunes of the NPP in the Volta region, Chairman Huanya has his work cut out for him? What does he need to do to ensure that he shows up the numbers in Volta for the NPP?
Now the politics is changing. So as the dynamics is changing, the Volta regional chairman also need to adopt a different strategy. As we all know, is the stronghold of the ruling party, the NDC. So it's quite interesting that we need people who can commit themselves, especially when you are in opposition. You need to have a lot of strategies in place. And the work for the new chairman, because, some time ago, those chairmen that have been there, they were able to prove themselves and were steadily increasing the numbers of the MPP in the region. So at the end of the day, he has no reason not to give them the numbers. And that one also needs a lot of efforts and strategies at the region. You see, when you have a party in power, because when you look at the region, you have about more than 5 or 10 people who are in the cabinet, maybe position or ministerial position. So you realize that the impact and the role that he will be playing will be quite much more need to be put in that place. He needs a lot of resources to get the young ones on board. So this new chairman will give a new face, but the task ahead of the new chairman is to bring his people on board, at the same time also work assiduously in terms of getting people to be part of the party. And so the work that he has to do is to, even if nothing, he has to maintain the numbers and the tax and the dynamics. So he has a lot of work to do in that region for the new chairman, because previous chairman, as we know, for some time past worked hard to bring the numbers up to what it is. Even though the numbers were not encouraging for the last election, but he has a new face. I know that the region people like him a lot. He has a lot of impact on individuals and our group as well. He has been with them for a while. So the new chairman can also contribute, but I think he will need a lot of resources to make that difference in that region.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Samuel Ifriye, for joining us this morning and giving us insights into what means after the NPP regional elections which took place over the weekend. Thank you so much. We'll bring you more discussions on this topic during the big issues. But let's go over to our dashboard and see some of your messages coming in, Beatrice.
So many messages coming through, but we'll be able to just do a few of them. And this is coming from Adam. He says, I'm Adam. My street lights from Dom Goil Filling Station Road to Taifa, no way, not working. This one says, good morning. I'm Alfred Lai from Teshi. The MPP's regional executives election is an exercise in mediocrity. Okoboy, having won for the Greater Accra region, will lose part of the 5 seats they have currently. NDC will win more than 30 seats come 2028. My greetings to our queen and heroine, Na Ashoko. Hey. This is coming from, he says, Ashaliboche School Junction to Adringano, Atano, Otono, JJ Rawlins Junction. All these street lights on that main road have been off for 7 years. Wow. Wow. And this one says, good morning, Beatrice and now, please. My name is Samuel from Nima. The traffic lights at Ridge Roundabout, TUC Roundabout, and Asylum Down Ridge Roundabout are not working for the past 2 weeks, and nothing is being done about it. Aziz Dolawa says, congratulations to all the newly elected executives of the MPP. However, their elections won't add any significance to the 2028 general election because the product, and he put it in inverted commas, they will be selling is a very difficult one to buy. In fact, NDC is so tenacious as a political entity and still remains the most attractive and influential party in Ghana. Aziz Dolawa, this one says, good morning, Beatrice. In fact, the degree of damage done to the MPP by Ghanaians, I don't think these chairmen can do anything now to salvage the damage. And you did it. Okay, he says you are Kwashi from Tema. Prince Henry Koforidia says, good morning, New Day team. Congratulations to the MPP for a successful regional elections. But the MPP should forget about winning the 2028 elections because Ghanaians will not go back to 120 ministers, 54% inflation, betting tax, e-levy, DDEP, and arrogance of power. It says, God bless our homeland, Ghana. This is coming from, okay, it's a long one. It says, good morning. Road safety infrastructure must be treated as an essential part of every road construction project. Road markings, traffic signs, guard drills, and street lighting should be completed before a road is considered fully operational. I agree with that. Said, I extend my condolences to the families who lost their loved ones and wish the injured a speedy recovery. I also appeal for the immediate installation of street lights to improve security and safety since it can create space for robbery. And that's coming from Humado Sitopa. Thank you so much. We've seen yours as well. The next one from, he said, my name is Mustafa Yamboni from Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. Mustafa, j'espère que vous allez bien. Je vous souhaite une bonne, très bonne journée. Najoko.
Yes, and on that very francophone note, we would wrap up your messages for the morning and bring you more on the big issues on this matter. In the meantime, it's a Monday morning. You want to start off your day right. Pack up your day with Milky Way with rich, smooth taste of Peg milk shortcake. It's a pure delight. If you haven't had one, grab one or two for your day. Also, it's a good time to make some good money to start off the week. Dial *439# for the prompts and win some money on the show this morning. Beatrice, Roland isn't here today, so I'm going to ask you to decide how much we give away.
We're giving 500 Ghana cedis.
500 cedis.
Yes, to 3 of you.
Okay.
And I always remind you that last week, Friday, we gave you 5,000. Today, just play 500 cedis. If you spent all your money over the weekend, here is an opportunity for you to get some more.
Yes. So make some 500 cedis this morning. If your child is going to SHS in the next window, 500 cedis can buy a chobox. Okay. So play this morning and win some money on the show. Dial *439# and win big. You're watching TV3 Newday. We will. And you're welcome back. You're watching TV3 Newday. It's now time for big issues, where, of course, we talk about the big issues making the rounds in the news in the country. We started this morning by looking at what happened over the weekend. Of course, the opposition NPP has held its regional elections, and the regional chairman have been elected. Some have retained their seats. We've seen some new entrants, and would like to look at what this means for the party as it reorganizes ahead of the 2028 general elections. There's been a lot of talk about the new chairman for Ashanti, in particular, of course, because of the many stories, controversies and happenings with the former Chairman Wontumi. Now, before I introduce my guest to you and before we get into the conversation proper, let's go back to last weekend and listen to some of the elected chairmen and what they had to say after they were elected. First, let's go to Bono and listen to Abronya DC.
2028 measure money number so 2028 the say mayor wonders okay now we're born ready the bay regional youth organizer the catch on say ye wonders e wo na have etimoti say see do kati e hwe nanum ana wa hwe bono nyina na no ye general secretary we need 26 from ayi boss ekosi atelu. Yeah, we need 26. It's in chart in the Munia. They catch it almost a one this year 2016. Chart in that you may say one this year 2028.
I would like to say thank you to all our constituency executives, CHESCON, all the Council of Elders, Council of Patrons, and all others who came in here to vote. I want to express our sincere gratitude to all of them for having elected us to lead the New Patriotic Party in the next 4 years in the Eastern region. This election and this victory, to me, is a victory of the New Patriotic Party. The first point of call, our profound agenda now is to find a way to unite our party together, to bring everybody on board, to prepare our party for victory in 2028. That is the task ahead of us. I know it's going to be an arduous task, but yes, we are prepared to go on and grab the wheels and get the job done. Bring the party people together and forge ahead as one unit and prepare ourselves for the battle 2020.
All right, there you have it. On the grounds this weekend, Abronya DC says that there's going to be wonders. The NPP is poised for wonders under his leadership ahead of 2028. What are your thoughts on that? Let us know. Our WhatsApp number is still active. I'll try to read as many of your messages as possible as we get into the discussions. But my guests are here and ready to get into it. We'll also look at the issue of streetlights in some parts of Accra. A lot of you have complained about the darkness on some of our roads, from Labadi, I beg your pardon, to Tema, some parts of Oyarifa, some parts of the Peduase Highway and other areas. You can send in your area if you're having this challenge of lack of streetlights on your roads. But in studio now, we're joined by the former head of corporate affairs, Cocoa Board, Fifi Boafo. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Great to have you in studio.
Great to have you. Are we going to sing some of the Ghana songs?
Yes. We're gearing up for, what has started in Teshi. And you know that our Jama songs and Pashimo is a significant part. Yeah, thank you. It's a significant part of the festival. So you're invited. You're invited to join us. You're not Ghana, are you?
No,
yeah.
I'm Wasa.
Oh, I see.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Interesting. I see. Well, also in studio we have Director Legal of the United Party, Andrew Appiah-Dankwa. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Great to have you.
Yes, indeed.
You're also invited.
In fact, I actually partook in the home of Agamashi.
Really?
Yeah.
The one that just ended?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Which of them did you attend?
So I went to the Dansuman one.
Yeah,
so
hometown. So.
Oh yeah, as in Afi. So Afi to my Teshi.
Yes. Afi I never know. What do you say? All right.
Afi
Aya.
Ni eba ni now. I said that TV.
I feel competent. Yeah.
So I come from my people.
You come from people, no problem. We'll be doing ours on Wednesday. Next Wednesday. The Shamo. Next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. All right. Also in studio with us this morning, the Executive Director, Africa Center for Security and Counter-Terrorism, Emmanuel Kuti. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Great to have you.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure's ours. Now, last weekend, your party went into the regional elections. It was generally peaceful from all that we have seen and we've heard. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
For a well-conducted elections. We saw that there was almost a small scuffle in Andom, but it was handled. Wow. Yeah, it was handled, and it all turned out well. Let's first talk about our general impressions about the elections, how it was conducted, what happened, and whatnot for you as a party.
Well, thank you very much. I'll first of all say that it's a part of the process of rebuilding the party and position it for the 2028 contest and to ensure that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is elected president of our country. And if you observe, just as you've indicated, how the elections were conducted, how people comported themselves and how things went, it's a clear indication that it was a well-organized activity. And there were no violence, and largely winners have been congratulated. Those who did not win have also accepted the outcome of the elections. And that's all that we were expecting. Okay. There were no violence. I think that we need to commend ourselves as a political party and how we've conducted this election. And beyond that, what is important for us is how to get to work immediately. We've elected very fantastic people to represent the party, to help us work and ensure that Dr. Bawumia is elected president, as I said. What is expected of us as party members is to also support the people who have been elected, because they as individuals are not the people who are only going to get the work done. All of us as party members are supposed to play our role and support them in getting results. But I believe that it's a important milestone that has been achieved. Beyond that, we also have the national elections coming up on the 3rd of October. We started with the polling station, we've done the coordinators, we've done the constituency elections, now we've done with the regional elections. What is left is for us to select the national executives. Our expectation is that in Kumasi on the 3rd, we will elect people who will come and then form the party base, or the people who get the party machinery running, so that we can support the flag bearer. We have already elected our flag bearer, and our expectation is that the flag bearer will get the necessary support from the party machinery. On top of that, I believe that internal elections is part of a process to get people to represent us, and all of us will work as a team. So during internal elections, you do not see it as life and death matter, because if you also go out there, malign people, say all manner of unprintable things about your fellow party members, it will become difficult for you to get such persons to come on board and support the party agenda. I believe of course, in politics, you have one or two people not conforming to the standard expected. But the expectation is that we'll learn from few mistakes probably that will come as part of the process, and then it will not be repeated, especially when we are going to the national election, the October 3rd. We don't get those things repeated.
All right. I wanted to just take a quick look at some of the winners. those who retained their seats, new entrants, and so on. And then we'll get into the conversation proper. I also see some of your messages coming in already. I'll read them a little later on the show. So you forgive me for not reading them immediately, but I'll make time to read them as we go. But we've just been joined by the Deputy CEO of the Forestry Commission, Elikem Kotoko. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us, Elikem.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you.
Same here.
All right, now let's go on to who won what over the weekend. Of course, top of the list is the Ashanti region. Let's take a look at the slides. Yes, Ashanti region, Odiniho Kweku Apia, is the NPP Ashanti regional chairman-elect, replacing Chairman Wontumi, also retaining his seat, Kwame Bafo Abronye, popularly known as Abronye DC, for Bono. We also have for the Northeast, Alaji Fuseini Nuruddin. And then also for the Volta region, we have Makafui Kofi Wanya, and questions have been asked as to whether or not he will be able to change the fortunes of the party in the Volta region going into 2028. And then next we have Ignatius Kwesi Afrifa, Western region. Then for the Upper East Regional Chairperson elect, we have Elvis Figo. Awonekai, if I'm not murdering his name there. Next one is Robert Safo Mensah for the Ahafo region. And then we have Mohammed Batima Adam for the Northern region. And for Savannah, we have Alaji Idrisu Sulemana and Jeff Kunedu for the Eastern region. All right. We'll get into the numbers that the various regions polled for Dr. Bawumia and the percentages during the 2024 general elections and what these new regional chairmen have to do going into 2028 to shore up the numbers and secure a win for the NPP if possible. Let me come back to the table and ask Elikem, you've just joined us, but what are your general impressions of the elections?
Thank you so much, and good morning once again. I must say that it is all part of a democratic process. I am happy that the NPP as a political party is doing some of the things they are doing. To be very honest and sincere with you, it looks to me like they would want to be doing the same old things yet expect a very different result. And I listened to my brother say it was peaceful. Yes, it was indeed peaceful, but there were quite a number of incidents that were very needless and avoidable. It turned a bit physical at some point, and the videos are all over there on social media.
Physical, yeah. Or there were disagreements?
Well, and if it turned into assaults and all of that kind, there were some...
Physical assault?
Yeah, there were fights at some places.
Yeah, we've seen the videos about disagreements and whatnot.
Not only disagreements, I mean, you saw people extending hands to the others and all of that. It must be condemned and avoided at all levels.
In which region?
I don't recall the region, but I can easily pull them out for you. In fact, I had them here. Reason being that when we want to embark on these processes, we should be able to. That is why I like one of his statements he made, that look, internal contest should not be reason for us to spew garbage over our opponents, because that is fodder you are giving to your external opponent in the run-up to the main elections. And as a young person, I have maintained that same thing, that nothing will push me to belong to any side within an internal contest and want to badmouth the other because either I am better than, or my candidate is better than, or I see you to be inferior or lower, and all of that. It must be based on a message and policy. And so we congratulate them for what they are doing. The only thing I find very, again, troubling is that it appeared they deceived their followers or their members.
How is that?
You know, initially, the plan was that they were going to start, they had made a U-turn to now start the elections from a flag bearer to national executives to region. But you see, if any smart person out there could tell that this was a deliberate ploy to just skim the system for one candidate, and none other than Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. And so they went for the elections, elected a flag bearer. Then suddenly they said they have made a U-turn and they have to start from the base again. Because everybody wondered why you would want to start an election of executives and start from the top. But you see, again, it's not only looming danger because it is going to breed a lot of factions within. Because now it appears those you elect at the base must all fall in line with or be people who are more aligned towards your flag bearer. But you don't need to have people necessarily belonging or liking you before you work with them. That is what shows you are a true leader. Let me give you an example. President Mahama, when he was elected, how do you call him? Professor Alabi played an integral role in his campaign. That is how you work. But when you do, so when even they finish the election, you hear some say the Alan faction won here. Kennedy Japan people won here. I know. Yeah, okay. I'm just giving an example.
The Kennedy faction.
The Kennedy faction has won. This has won. And you don't do that to people. And it's a group. It meant that those who were saying this thing from the very beginning, that they were deceiving us, they just wanted to twist their arm to elect Bawumia as flag bearer. They were right after all. Because after electing your flag bearer, then you made a U-turn. And what recommendations informed the decision to do that? Did the recommendation say that you should go deceive them and tell them that you are starting the process by electing national flag bearer through national executives to region, etc.? Then make a U-turn and now say, we will start again from the base. Because from the very word go, when they announced that, we in the opposition and many other onlookers critiqued that and questioned the rationale behind that decision. And today we stand vindicated because this very thing we told them was trouble is what they did. Now it is going to create factions within them. I shouldn't be rejoicing over that because I expect to see a stronger opposition that will put our feet to the fire.
And this makes them a weak
This makes them a bit weak because there are certain people who may be winning elections now who would never have won election if not the way they have turned it. And so it was deliberate, which meant that you want to deliberately push some people on the neck of the electorate, either because they are somebody's favorite or somebody wants things done in a certain way. But when you conduct an election like that, X will be splashed in your face in the end because at the end of it, like I said, you are having factions. They will tell you, oh, these people won here, that person won over here. So what exactly happened? You can't do that. And mind you, these are a group of national executives or most of the executives have failed their followers. They have failed their members woefully.
Is that so?
Very much. And so they are not able to tell them what exactly is their substance to hold on to office for. So they continue
But they have been able to successfully retain or win their positions as chairman of the various regions.
Not just a few. And more importantly too, you know that these executives of the party have failed them to the extent that there are 16 regions and they could not win even parliamentary seats in 9 out of 16. The first time in Ghana's history that a political party as strong and notable as the NPP.
You are talking about the 2024 general election.
Yes, the 2024 general election.
Okay, we're talking about the reorganization. We're talking about the reorganization.
That's not correct.
Okay.
Yes, the MPP did not win parliamentary seats
in nine
constituencies. It's not 9.
9 regions. Four.
It's 4. It's not
4
9.
regions.
It's Volta region, OT, Upper East,
Upper West. Continue.
Bono.
No,
the one. The one.
Abronye's place.
One.
So it's not true that the MPP did not win parliamentary.
You check your facts. After this, I'll do.
You made a point, but then I'm only correcting that it's not true.
We'll fact check. We'll fact check that. We'll fact check that and then put it out there. But let me just move on to you for a minute and come to Andrew. You've been very vocal about the rule of law and conduct of elections, and from your assessment of what happened over the weekend. How ready is
He's so excited
the
about
NPP
that he wants to come back.
NPP, is that correct? You're looking to come back to the NPP?
Yeah, he's coming back.
What do you think? Why would I want to go into a house that is evidently possessed by familiar spirits?
I beg your pardon?
Why would I want to enter into a house that is evidently possessed by familiar spirits. Would you advise me?
By familiar spirits.
Would you advise me to
family aspiration?
No.
Familiar spirits.
Familiar spirits.
Familiar or evil spirits.
Hey.
Yeah. Why would I go into a house that's?
But that's your former house.
And that's why I left. It was possessed, so I ran away. It was possessed.
By familiar spirits.
By familiar spirits, so I had to run away.
Wow.
So why would I return? Anyway, so let me wish your lovely
return. I'll play this soundbite for you.
Because it has happened in the past. We've seen very faithful people are faithful to a party,
Okay, so 7
exit,
regions. I've gotten that.
and come
It's
back.
7.
7 regions.
Seven solid regions. You
Okay.
have no representation in the legislature.
Okay.
Not now.
I'll confirm that. But back to you, Andrew.
So let me wish your lovely viewers a good morning. Always a pleasure to be in the company of my friend and brother Fifi. Very soon I rescue him from the family that's been possessed.
Hell no.
Pleasure sharing the platform with Kuti and then my own brother Elikem Kotoko. I always say that I like the Kotoko name because unlike I'm an avowed supporter of Kotoko.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
but you don't know yet which team I support, mind you.
No, I don't know.
I would say.
No, just say it.
Really?
Okay. I know you're a devout phobia supporter.
Masters, Continental Club Masters.
Anyway.
But back to the matter.
Anyway,
What does
since we are talking about football, bear in mind the winners of the league. It's
Midiama. Undisputed. But this year we're coming for you.
Champions.
Yeah.
Undisputed. But this year we're coming for you.
Oh, can you hear?
Congrats. Anyway.
All right. What does the last weekend tell you about the preparedness of the NPP as they reorganize for 2028?
I mean, it didn't change. It didn't change anything for me. My perception, because my view has always been that the problem is not necessarily about elections. Sometimes in this country we reduce democracy to just what's called elections, and so for me, I must congratulate them for what was largely a peaceful elections. Some of their choices excited me, as in Okoboy is a fantastic guy, one of the guys I really, really respect. And so to see that Okoboy has been chosen as president, for me, that was a huge chairman. That was a huge positive. But largely, majority of the chairmen retained their seats. Most of the chairmen, most of the places where most of the places where the chairman changed were places where the position was the incumbent didn't contest. That's why most of the places where the incumbents contested, they were retained. As to whether
but the election were not just about the regional chairman.
I understand. But personally, my focus was on the chairmanship. Yeah,
they are one of the executives in the region.
Yeah, but they are the leaders of the party in the region. And also one of the significant things that I had in my mind was probably this will be the last time that delegates, as we know them, will choose executives.
Yes. No. Check, the ruling was specifically on presidential candidate and parliamentary. It did not include party executives.
Okay, but I think that personally it will be in the interest of the parties to align with the call of the Supreme Court. But as to whether or not what they did on Saturday or over the weekend, for me, shows enough evidence of a party that has changed its ways. For me, the answer is no. Because the FIFI represents what is good about the original MPP, you understand? And that's why, it's on that basis why he made that call, that in an internal election, because it's more or less a family battle, then in how you communicate, it shouldn't be to destroy. I see one of the key people who flouted that principle, who took people in the party to the cleaners, who set up a station, and all he did was destroy members of their party, getting an overwhelming, support, endorsement. Because if there's something you always say, as an MPP always says, and the reality say that the elephant always chooses its leaders. The spirit of the party will always choose their leader. And the
say that again.
So there's something the MPP say when they're going for any election, that the elephant will choose its leader. That's that the spirit of the party will choose its leader.
Okay.
That's something the MPP say. And So yes, so on Saturday, the spirit of the party chose their leaders. They endorsed emphatically one of the leaders who flouted what my brother Fifi said, who has set up a station and all he does is to undermine, insult, malign members, very senior members of his party. And the spirit chose him. The question is, what is the spirit? What is the spirit of the elephant? You understand? The spirit of the elephant is the spirit that in a contest, whose focus is to choose somebody who potentially lead Ghana. As I will go on a tirade that is 15 cents of Kennedy Japan, 10 cents of Baumia, 10 cents of Brian, and you look into those cents, and it's a tacit agreement or tacit confession of very grievous offenses that these people were alleged to have committed. And the party commented, listen, even though we defended this, indeed they did it over the past few years. MPP has a spirit that has always choose the interest of their party ahead of the national interest. And that's why when they had the opportunity to sponsor somebody into leadership, they went on a tirade or they went on an agenda of what essentially became state capture. And we are seeing the...
Who are you talking about?
Oh, I don't hide my son. When Anado became president, when MPP sponsored Anado to become president, they undertook a fundamental, a massive state capture. You understand? And the party allowed it. The party, because when you read Article 55(3) of our Constitution, it says out the function of a political party. And as an if you have a constitution, we carry so we are all clear. And question the wisdom in that demonstration that took 2 weeks ago, when we all agree that one of the cardinal principles of this our country is the principle of probity and accountability. And when people have been convicted pursuant to this principle and having followed due process, you understand? The party can sponsor.
Their concerns included onerous bill conditions, among others. Do you disagree with those things?
Listen, so yes, I've sat on this table when Untumi was arrested first and criticized the government or Yuko on the onerous bill conditions per se. But listen, that happened how many years? And after some of us made those calls, Untumi was released.
But the situation has not changed.
No. Listen. The focus of the petition, if you read the petition, was essentially on what's called allegations of political imprisonment of Chema Untumi. Have you read the petition? It goes beyond that. No. Have you read the petition?
I believe you have read it in great detail.
And that's what I'm saying.
And one of the concerns which stood out during the demonstration, in fact, if you listen to some of the interviews, was the issue of onerous bill conditions, which you appear to agree with.
Well, I agree with that 100%. But what I'm saying is, when you make a demonstration that seeks to say that democracy is under attack. You understand? To the extent that you choose a day where 8 of our compatriots perished in service of the country. I'm coming. Then that democracy which is being attacked should be something that is so overwhelming. You understand? Or something that's how you, the party yourself, have conducted yourself over the past. Have some credibility to stand on. You understand? But I'm saying that their focus, and also you must also demonstrate an attitude that shows us that call is born out of a genuine concern, not as a veiled attempt at creating a system where you can capitalize. Because I'm saying over the past 8 years, they have shown a character that for some of us says that they will always put the interest of their party as against the interest of the country. You understand? Now, I'm saying that this election done over the weekend, does it demonstrate that there are clear steps being taken that will change the character of the party? Because the character of the party now is a character that will put the interest of their party ahead of the national. And that's why when Kennedy Japan criticized what's called the fundamental deception in what's called the Afari hospital issue, the party will take steps to dismiss him. Because that call was a call in the interest of the nation. That call by Kennedy Japan was a call in the interest of the nation. But the party will sack him because the party felt that that call was placing or was detrimental to the interest of their party. But if you're a political party, and if you read Article 55.3, with the permission, let me read Article 55.3 of our Constitution, because it sets out the function or the duties of political parties in our Constitution. So subject to the provisions of this article, a political party is free to participate in shaping the political will of the people, to disseminate information on political ideas, social and economic programs of a national character, and sponsor candidates for elections to any public office other than the district assembly. Understand? The way they have handled, and in fact, largely most of the political, it's as if their sole duty is just to sponsor what's called candidates. But if you understand that the only way in which we can sustain democracy is by building the right political culture, they understand that the political parties have a huge role beyond just sponsoring candidates. Have a huge role, and that in how you disseminate information, it must have the national interest at heart. Now, the question I'm saying is that the NPP has a spirit, and that spirit chooses their leaders. Now, because their spirit isn't one that has the national interest at heart, they can choose Abonye DC. Okay. They can choose Abonye DC, even though he's flouting the very thing Fifi is saying, because it's the spirit of the party that chose him. But having said that, I'm saying there are some of the patterns that are positive, because it's not in anybody's interest to see MPP dying. We want as many political parties as possible to be strong, because ultimately, the focus of why we ought to be doing our politics is to build a strong state and to create a system where we can create virtuous men. You understand? So it is not that. That's why I say that, in my opinion, the choice of the Greater Accra Regional Chairman for me is the most positive thing in this election. And let's see how it goes. I pray that he has the conviction, the courage of conviction to impact the region, the matter I believe he can.
All right, let me come to you now, Koti. What are your general impressions, and what do the various winners in the various regions mean for the MPP going into 2028?
Well, thanks once again, and very good morning to my co-panelists and to the good people of Ghana. In fact, what we observed over the weekend was not a contest of ideas, not at all.
What was it?
It was a machine building exercise.
A machine building exercise?
For 2028. And the machine was already established by the election of Dr. Mahmoud Baomi as the candidate. So now the regional elections can be comparable to a car chassis. We are only looking forward to see 3rd October if the car will start. Why do I say this? You see, the sins of the MPP started when they twisted the Constitution to elect the flag bearer first. And we all are privy to situations where burden from top, bottom always bring challenges. So if you look at these elections, the enthusiasm was low. So that's why we didn't witness any form of violence, because people were like, you have to be whipped on the line. That's why Dr. Baumia himself said, people use his name. Is that not it? If they hadn't elected Dr. Baumia first, and they had started the bottom-up approach, that is where the enthusiasm would have been higher. You would have whipped the grassroots and energized the grassroots per the competitors who are looking to lead the party. That is why you talk about the spirit. The spirit starts from the grassroots to the top.
Exactly.
But when you kill the spirit at the top and turn around to rejuvenate that spirit from the bottom, the enthusiasm automatically will be low. And that is precisely what we witnessed. Look,
the enthusiasm was low during this election.
The competitiveness.
How do you come to that conclusion?
Compare. Look, excuse me. Look, let's compare these elections to other elections that have happened in the past. Because there was nothing really at stake. Because the presidential candidate is already known. So you have to go by the whims and caprices of the presidential candidate. That is why we witnessed what happened in Kumasi when my good brother Kokofu because I was on the same platform with him on UTV. He told me personally he was going for general secretary. And all of a sudden he somersaulted for regional chairmanship.
He can change his mind.
Because the machineries behind Dr. Maobia felt that Coker was not a loyalist.
Yeah.
So they wanted a loyalist.
You know this how?
Oh, but who is the chief of staff to Dr. Baumia? Who is the chief of staff to Dr. Baumia? Is it not Mensa Bosu? He granted an interview. It's not Emmanuel Cotin saying it. Yeah. They should be thankful to Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. He saved the situation. If he hadn't gone on the back of Coker, now Coker has won, what would have been done? And look at the political maturity he showed. He still went to Kokofu's house to tell him the elections are over. We need to win elections. These are how political leadership should be all about. It should be about the interests of the party and not personal interests. Look, Jeff.
Yeah.
Another fantastic guy. And there was no way Jeff could lose Eastern Region when Brian is the governor of Eastern Region. And in the Eastern Region, too, the same agenda went, and Jeff prevailed. Are you building the unity we are talking about? In Greater Accra, it's just that Okoboy, like you said, is a fantastic guy.
Yeah.
He was not also planning to be chairman. It's last minute he went.
No, Okoboy.
Oh, he never planted. No, he never. When did Okoboy start his campaign? 3 months ago.
No, I got to know of
3 months ago.
Intention way back, because after losing the seat, Okoboy said that he had done his part in parliament. He was interested in doing something else in politics, and he had decided, of course, as to when he will declare his intention publicly. At least I am in the party, I have engaged him, and I know his intention is not something that came 3 months ago. Okoboy has always said that he wanted to be the national regional chairman.
Granted. So let's look at the election of Abronye. Abronye will sit on TV, insult party leadership. The same things you accuse Kennedy Agyapong of. And I have intel that they are planning to sack Kennedy Agyapong from the NPP. Yet you go ahead, right? And you elect Abronye because Abronye is a loyalist. What are we really building? Look, do you take a losing team or you retain a winning team? These are the regional chairmen. These are some of the executives who led this party to an abysmal 41% in the last elections. From Northeast, Northern, where have you? It's only a few places that the incumbents didn't go. Even look at Savannah. The chairman won by just 4 votes. Just 4. And I'll tell you why. Because the candidate they brought was Dr. Baumia's loyalist. And the incumbent had to fight tooth and nail to win by 4 votes. Are you building unity? Look, we need a strong opposition party. Let the unity processes be in deed and not in words. After the presidential primaries, look at the fallout. Where is the unity? Everybody is clamoring around Dr. Baumia to catch Dr. Baumia's face and favor. But you are the rare enemies of Dr. Baumia, and I'm not apologetic anywhere to say this.
Who are the real enemies?
Those around him. Those around him.
Why?
You know the demonstration you referenced? Yeah. I had cause to say that, look, you don't want Baumia to be president because there was no need to go or embark on that demonstration. What was really the need for that demonstration? The things you were accusing this government of, didn't it happen in the last 8 years? Even worse. People wanted to go on demonstrations, you go to court to place injunction. The precinct of the presidential, the Jubilee House was a security zone. But you were able to walk freely, do an incident-free demonstration, yet you say that this democracy is under attack. Yeah. You know what you are doing to international investors? You are scaring them away. You want to run away from accountability. And you are setting the minds of Ghanaians that when you are called to account for your stewardship is political prosecution.
That's not what.
And the truth of the matter is that we shall resist all those things. Look, Ora must work.
Oral work.
Ora must work. And if NDC there and leave Ora, some of us will come openly and campaign seriously against the party. Why, Abana? I'm from a less privileged society. I'm from Saboba. The road to Saboba is a mess. Our mothers travel a lot of distance to carry water in the 21st century. Children are studying under trees. Someone gets a political appointment and is a millionaire. He's doing projects. And we don't question the salary regimes of the person. I always say that, look, it's not easy to fight. It's not too difficult to fight corruption in this country. Last year audit is all it takes. So when I see some of these things happening, look, we are doing a counter demonstration. It's coming soon. Democracy is in progress. Who's we? Myself, Solomon, Usuebo, Bachman, and my good friend here. We are going to embark on a demonstration. It's going to come. You will see it.
And what is it called?
Democracy in progress. We are fixing the mess they created. This government is fixing the mess they created.
Okay.
So you see, this election generally.
Yeah.
I don't think MPP is poised for power. If indeed MPP was poised for power, they would have done certain things right. Look, I will speak for Northern Region where I come from.
Okay, please land for me.
The constituency elections, what did the constitution of the MPP say? You must elect members within the polling station to elect their representatives. In Saboba, did that happen? No. They created an album because they wanted somebody to be chairman. Yeah. And look, this is the uncomfortable truth we always run away from. Our politics is ethnic based, whether we like it or not. That's why it's difficult for the MPP to win votes in the Volta region, and it's difficult for the NDC to win votes in the Ashanti region.
That is turning, you know.
It's turning, yes. It's a positive thing for this country. You see, when they demarcated the regions and divided many of the regions, Northeast was carved out, and Mampreshis had the majority there. Savannah was carved out for the Gunjes, and the Northern region remained for the Dagumbes and the Kunkumbes. Now, Elikim, when you wanted to win power, you wanted the Kukumba votes. Against all odds, Haruna, Honorable Haruna, strategic as he is, he brought a Kunkumba as the regional chairman. Did they deliver the votes in the Kunkumba areas or they didn't? They won all the Kunkumba areas except Bimbila and Kwanda. Even Kwanda was contentious, he went to court. It's just that because of the too many MPs you have, you didn't show interest in pursuing it. Now, look at the scenario I'm going to create. I don't want anybody to tag me as a tribalist. No.
Okay.
It's an uncomfortable truth we must confront as a country. Samba is a Mampreshi. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia is a Mampreshi. You see the line?
Yeah.
Samba is a two-term national chairman of the Northern region.
Regional chairman.
Chairman. 2 terms. So. Under his tenure, since that Buri Nabo gave it to him, it came down. Yet the mentioner of Dr. Baumia made sure that Samba won the seat in Tamale. What do you think the Gombes and Kunkumbes would do? You think they will vote? Let's be honest. Because a time has come, we must confront the comfortable truth. And they are creating a lot of mess in the Northern region. Ask me why. Why did Nuru win against lawyer Serbian in the Northeast? Because Serbian is from where?
Okay. I want
the Kumba side. And Nuru is a Mampreshi.
Please land for
so
me.
all these things play, and we must make sure that we tackle all these things and deal with it holistically.
Okay, please land
if
for me.
really we want power.
I know that you said not to tag you
a travelist, but it's an uncomfortable truth.
It is quite uncomfortable, especially if we cannot back it up. No, we cannot.
No, I
we
can
cannot.
back
We
it
cannot.
up.
Until then.
I can
Until
prove
then.
it. It's powers, and I'm prepared anyway.
Yes, we have your words.
No, I'm backing it. I'm giving you examples.
Okay.
I'm from the north.
All right.
And I'm not running away from it.
All right.
Anybody can take me anywhere, right?
All right.
I will back those things out with evidence.
All right.
And it's out of abundance of, when I was coming here, a lot of people call me that, Emmanuel, if you can do this for us. I'm not alone in this.
All right. I know you want to respond to a lot of the things that he has said. Okay, you go on.
Okay, so let me state that tribalism must not be encouraged in any form in our politics. We are all Ghanaians. The Constitution stipulates who can contest for which position anywhere in our country. Even if you have some perception, what you need, allow. What you need to do is rather discourage things that divide us as a people. We should rather seek to work on things that bring us together as a people instead of rather finding things that divide us. And for me, I think that is not the way to go. So allow me to proceed. Allow me to proceed.
That's the view I hold.
Allow him to land. Yeah.
So if you do not hold that view, and if you accept that that view is one that divides us, we must not even encourage it. No, we must not. We must not encourage it. We should rather find a way of putting it off the radar, such that we do not. You see, the more you, this is a national television, the more you engage in that conversation, the more you are finding it, the more you are drawing attention to it, and it is not good. We must not encourage it. You know what? Your party, the NDC, go to Ashanti region. There are people who have also raised concern about the fact that upon winning power, majority of the MMDCs are people who are not from the Ashanti region, who have been appointed. Should that be the conversation? So I think that we need to be careful when you bring, and that is even appointed position. So the president has the discretion to choose people from the region to represent them. This is an elective position. It is at the discretion of the people who are voting. So for the people to decide that these are the people we seek to serve us, then you should not even bring that conversation. But let me proceed. Alekem talked about the fact that we, yes, you, no, so yes, so let me finish. Then you have the right to rebut. Yeah. That's fine. The MPP lost. We did not get a parliamentary candidate in 9 regions. That's not accurate. It was all 4: Volta, Uti, Upper East, and Upper West. So that's 4. Let me proceed. There's the conversation about Dr. Bawumia and people around Dr. Bawumia determining who wins. It's not the case. Because the conversation is that, oh, Dr. Bawumia was supporting Kukufu. Did Kukufu win? That is not correct. We are all aware that Jeff supported Brian. Jeff has been elected as the chairman of the Eastern region. The party people will weigh, at every point in time, will weigh the people who have offered themselves to serve the party and who the party people consider will serve the best interest of the party is the one who will be elected.
But the question has been whether or not the election of Dr. Bawumia as the flag bearer ahead of the other elections such as regional and national elections affects who is elected in the regional and national positions.
It does not now. It does not. And let me say that Dr. Bawumia has not at any point in time said that this is my preferred candidate.
What was the need for the flag bearer to be elected first ahead of the regional and national positions?
The need for the flag bearer to be elected was to prevent a situation where in the party, okay, so LKM will support, allow. If you elect the flag bearer after you've conducted all the internal elections, what happens is that the flag bearer will have interest. Because the interest will be that the people who become polling station executives, they will participate in who becomes a flag bearer. So the interest of the flag bearer will be to make sure that I get my people there to vote for me. Same for constituency, for coordinators, constituency, region, and national. But at this time where you already have the flag bearer, what is the interest? He has already been elected. So he's not the one to go and say that bring in this person because when this person, please, I sat quietly and listened to you.
Yes, gentlemen, please allow him to land.
So if I am not,
just hang on.
I'm saying that when the person has already been elected, what will be his interest to say that let me go and influence the election down there so that the people will come and vote for me?
Because there are clearly factions. We clearly know that, for example, X supports Dr. Bawumia, Y supports maybe Kennedy Japan. Therefore, if, for example, Dr. Bawumia has been elected, then we know that at the regional level elections or at the national elections, the concern is that his loyalists will have an upper hand.
That is not correct. So let me give you some examples which we've already cited on this table. There are people who contested or who supported candidates apart from Dr. Bawumia in the last election. They've been elected. The party people will assess the people based on their strength and their contribution to the party. You know what? It's a choice. We are all party members. Our responsibility at this point is to ensure that Dr. Bawumia is elected as president of our country. Whether the person supported Brian, whether the person supported Ken, whether the person supported Kwabena Japan or the former education minister. That elections, they are over. We are done with it. Our duty now as party people is to ensure that Dr. Bawumia becomes a president. So whether the person supported Dr. Bawumia or not, the people will weigh the person. Is that a person who can help us win power? If the person can help us win power, the party people will work for that. Now let me go to the Ashanti region. There are people who have said that, well, in fact, said Honorable Chairman Sabunsu supported Kokufu. He granted an interview, but I watched that interview. What he said, he talked about the attributes of Koka as a generous person, someone who is there for the party people. And he also talked about Kokufu's attribute as a good communicator, and he was of the view that, well, you need someone who can communicate well, and that will inure to the benefit of the party.
He said they had a list. They had a list from the members of parliament from Ashanti region with whom they want. And Kokufu was their preferred choice.
I didn't hear you say that. I didn't say you were Kokufu.
But you can get the video and play it.
But wait a minute. You have Dr. Gideon Buaku, who is the spokesperson for Dr. Bawumia. Dr. Buaku was in the Ashanti region campaigning for Coca.
Oh, it was a decoy.
It wasn't a decoy.
It was a decoy.
It is your,
you were playing double game, so that if it doesn't work either way, you are there.
It's your own slant. It's your own slant to the story. So let me proceed. You have Dr. Gideon Buaku.
It's like you put this one here, this one here.
You have your turn. You have your turn.
Dr. Buaku is a key member of Dr. Bawumia's team. He was in the Ashanti region campaigning for Kuka. But what you should note is that Dr. Bawumia is an individual. He's a candidate we've elected. He's the one we are presenting for the 2028 elections. But within the Dr. Bawumia team are also individuals with their own interests. The individuals with their own interests, with their own allegiances, and with their own relationships.
Aside from Dr. Bawumia?
Aside from Dr. Bawumia, in politics, everyone has an interest. So the fact that all of us supported Dr. Bawumia, I may prefer somebody else to be the national chairman, and somebody may also prefer another person to be the national chairman. Listen. So the fact that someone who supported Dr. Bawumia or someone perceived to be close to Dr. Bawumia supporting one person does not mean that Dr. Bawumia supports that person, because he himself has said that he has no interest. He is ready to work with anyone who is elected to serve the party. So yes, you can raise issue about the fact that, because of proximity, because the person is close. But I've given you an instance where people very close to Dr. Bawumia are supporting different candidates. Like in the Ashanti region, it happened. So let us not read meanings into it. For me, what I wish to work with and what I want party members to accept is that the man we have elected to be our flag bearer has stated his position. And his position is that he is prepared to work with anyone elected to support the party's capture agenda.
Defeats the initial agreement. Exactly. Now let me tell you why. You said that the reason for electing flag bearer before going to the base is to ensure that if the initial reason why you were doing so was to ensure that if you have an interest, you have an interest in who becomes the polling station agent.
Yes.
Now, if you're here saying that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia doesn't have an interest in who you elect at your base, then you are
well, like the contradiction. The man, if he was now seeking to be he said he made reference to me. If he was now seeking to be the flag bearer, he'll be interested in getting people who will vote for him. Now,
don't worry.
Direct question.
So the catch is that when you have an interest in becoming a flag bearer, there are so many of you haven't even won yet. Why do you think at that point rather it is not crucial for you, and it is now?
No, the fact that Dr. Bawumia believes that the party people took the right decision in selecting him. He is very confident in the party process
so he never
to elect the right people to support him in achieving his agenda.
So when he was going to contest, at that point, he didn't believe that the people would take the right decision to do same as he is thinking.
You know what? This is a human being.
Anyways.
At every point in time, every human being will seek his personal interest. Now that interest is...
so that's why...
Now that interest is satisfied.
Exactly.
It's already satisfied.
Okay.
So what will be his point?
Because people will not be put in line naturally. And with the machine.
And what you also need to bear in mind...
I don't have a rebuttal again. We are communicating what I communicated.
We are talking about the MPP. You are not MPP members.
Today I'm not MPP member. Today I'm not.
Oh, are you? Are you MPP member?
It's okay.
No. Answer the question. Are you MPP? Are you? No, you are not.
You invited me.
So you say you are not. You see, what we are looking at is winning power.
Yeah.
It is the interest of Dr. Bawumia to ensure that he has every party supporter coming on board to support him. He personally getting involved that I like this person, I don't like this person, who creates some conflict within the party. And Dr. Bawumia is too smart. He's not going to get involved in that. And he wants everybody, whether the person wins or not, to come on board to make sure that we kick the NDC out.
I look forward to beautifully seeing that. Now, you talked about tribal politics, which I was very shocked at some of the things.
We don't want to go into.
No, yes, we don't want to go there. But it is best to advise that if this needs to be halted, then we must start from even your flag bearer. I must be frank with you. If you want me to give you examples. For instance, when he was campaigning the last time, we need a Muslim in the Jubilee House. That was pure tribal. You need not say that you have to be a Muslim.
You remember John Mahama saying that Bawumia will not be selected as MPP flag bearer because he's a Northerner.
You see, give me. Now, let me tell you. Then again, when he was even campaigning, he went to meet the clerics and said, I have been taken as running mate because I'm a Muslim and I'm your representative and all of that. That tape you read,
he didn't say he was selected because he was a Muslim. He never said
Should we play the tape?
Yeah, you can play it. He did not say that he was selected because he was a Muslim.
I'll get it for you.
He said it's an opportunity for Muslims to have a president.
No.
That is different from saying that my selection was because I'm a Muslim. He didn't say
it's an opportunity for a Muslim to have a president. What is it?
And you see,
the reason why these things are very important. It is different from saying that I was selected.
The reason why these things, just a minute, the reason why these things are very important is that Putin made a statement, and it looked like, yes, that is becoming even the character of a flag bearer. When people make reckless speeches, etc., you want to rather find a way to welcome them. You want to find a way to glorify them. So I can give you an example. There's one, I don't want to even glorify their names by calling them out, but I'm sure you know those I'm talking about. One lady out there, you know Baba Amando, you know Mavis Political something. And so when even your own Abronye was all over, like a loose cannon saying the things he was saying, you didn't care. When it then affected your general secretary, he wrote to your disciplinary committee for action to be taken. Action could not be taken on him probably because he remained untouchable because of where he belonged. And so if he has won elections today again, what makes me feel that you are not giving him fodder to continue to do what he was doing? Exactly. So the very things you speak about, which makes me want to think that are you a fine gentleman in the wrong party or does not understand what the party stands for? But I will look forward. Good. So I will look forward to, and I don't dispute that, I will look forward to making sure that this is, it doesn't matter whether it's in NDC or NDP. We should eschew that because it is needless, it is no basis. As intellectual, as young men, we should be able to always be saying, campaigning based on messages, which will be able to convince people than want to attack people. I have heard, for instance, Aigbeni Abua and all of that. It never bothers me anyways. Those things don't get to me. It is one thing describing, being descriptive and another being insulting. Whichever way, I have a tougher skin, but how many people can contain some of these things? It is what we need to watch. And so that is why somebody will say, okay, you guys have reinforced the election of Abronye. You appreciate all of what he does, or you appreciate everything except the other side. Yeah. How well are you trying to refine that in order for it not to extend? Suddenly, when Chairman Wontumi has been thrown into jail, it's now looking as though the reason he was even jailed is because he insulted the then former president. But so you guys knew he was doing all of these things, and I repeat these things here. Some of the unprintable things this gentleman said about the former president, his children, the daughter, and all of that. So unprintable. But this is where we are today. I'm happy that at this table we seem to agree that must be put to the back burner, and then we move forward.
All right. So one of the things we want to consider is what last weekend's elections means for the NPP going into 2028. And since we are on the Ashanti region, let's stay there for a while. So, of course, we have there is a newly elected chairman, Coker. And so far, a lot of the comments that have come from the Ashanti region appear that they're happy with the decision that has been made. However, questions have been asked about the fact that, well, the NPP, the Ashanti region is your stronghold. But like Elikem hinted a few moments ago, it appears that the NDC might be making some inroads into the Ashanti region. The NPP might be making some inroads into the Volta region. A question has been asked about the possible need to rebrand the NPP in the Ashanti region, especially for young people, for first-time voters and the youth, because, among other things, the member of parliament, what's his name? I beg your pardon. Is it Frank Amakuhene? Yeah. The regional minister, Frank Amakuhene, has made some very interesting changes in the way the NDC is perceived in the Ashanti region, with his relation to young people and the youth and his participation. We see him on the ground actively engaging young people with his secondary school initiatives, the murals, sports, his advocacy for Ashanti Kotoko, among other things. He has become very attractive to young people, and that's a fact that I believe we can all comfortably agree with. Yeah. Do you think that the election of... we've just come back from him. Well, this is for all of us. This is for all of us. But Andrew, I'm coming to you with that. Do you think that the election of
we are not talking about UP, so let me...
But he has an opinion. What does the election of Coker mean for the Ashanti region? And do you think that he has what it takes to actually attract young people, as now the regional minister appears to have a very comfortable hold on them going into 2028?
Well, I don't think anybody holds anybody. We all free people. Myself, I'm an Ashanti Kumasi born, and I go to Kumasi a lot. Understand? And you see, if there is a fundamental reason why, at the advent of the Fourth Republic, the NPP seemed to have an overwhelming hold on Ashanti region. Essentially, it was because of issues the older generation had with the excesses of the AFRC and the PNDC. So the issue was about J.J. Rawlings. Because even during the Kwame Nkrumah era and the other elections, the UP, what's called, when I say UP, as in UP to all the various variants, we're not winning elections with a kind of overwhelming percentage in the Ashanti region like the NPP was doing, especially I think in 2000 to 2004 and in 2016, as in the margin was overwhelming. Right now, the Gen Z generation, or let's say our generation downwards, we didn't really have the impact of the so-called AFRC, the sense of the AFRC, and then the PNDC, and also with the easy access to information. Right now, what people want is development. We want proper leadership. We want a fulfillment of the promises of democracy. And I don't think in that regard, that's thinking. Like the party traveling from, the party traveling. No, that thinking, it may be there, but is getting outmoded by the day. And the demand is that political parties ought to undertake their functions as the people of Ghana give them per the terms of the 1992 Constitution. I don't know Coca personally. Based on I'm coming no, but as I said, I don't know him personally. But based on
what
the
you have read
and heard about him, especially the position, the very sensible position he took during their presidential elections. Because during the presidential elections, Coca took a position that we expected most of the, or if not all the regional chairmen to take. That this is an internal election. I cannot throw my hat into one ring against the other. So for me, I'm going to remain neutral. You understand? Yeah, you understand? Because that was one of the things that Chimawuntumi fundamentally failed to do. That caused the kind of bad politics in the Ashanti region that impacted the MPP negatively. And most of the other regional chairmen did. Like you go to the north, Chairman Nuru, you all know Chairman Nuru is an avowed Bawumia boy. Chairman Nuru reached out to the non-Bawumia supporters in the party. Samba is I was somebody here, and I align with what my brother Nuru Kutin is saying. We don't want a politics that is driven by tribalism. We want a system that is based on merit. But the fact of the matter is that tribalism is a central theme in our politics. You understand? So you have somebody like Samba who essentially is not working for the MPP. He's working for Dr. Bawumia. You understand? How is he going to reach out to the others? And so, for me, insofar as what Kuka has portrayed, as in his stance during the last election, the elections, and he did that knowing that it was going to be used against him. I saw the Kwabre MP campaign against Kuka, and one of his grounds for campaign against Kuka was that he did not support His Excellency Dr. Bawumia. We had Honorable Chimensa Bonsu, but Kuka took his position in spite of his knowledge, because Kuka knows the party and knows that it was going to be used against him. And the manner in which the Ashanti region MPP voted was an emphatic signal. They give a signal that they don't want the one-to-me type of. So if what Kuka did is not just words, but really is deeds, and he's going to handle Ashanti region in that manner, then of course, for me, it will portend a positive step by the MPP, and that's what I added. Like in the same way, I'm very excited about their choice of the Greater Accra regional chairman. That's why I was asking for courage of conviction, because I've been excited by choices the MPP has made in the past. I was excited by the choice of Kwabena Agyapong as the general secretary of the party. Yeah. But then for me, I was massively disappointed because I felt that when there was a requirement that he showed courage of conviction, especially during the coup d'etat that tore the party apart. The coup d'etat, the Foko coup d'etat, that destroyed the party. I felt Kwabena Agyapong didn't show courage of conviction there. So if Okoboy and if Kuka and if all the other people whose election represents something positive for the MPP, if they can show courage of conviction, then certainly I think it will be a very positive step. This election will be a very positive step at sacking the familiar spirit which is destroying the party. The question is whether or not I believe that familiar spirit can be sacked. And it's an emphatic no. Because my brother here, like you rightly said, Fifi Boafo is a fine gentleman. Oh, yes. He represents all what is good in the MPP. Let me land. If Fifi is going to contest for any position, and I'm in the position to support him in any way, I'm going to support her. If Takwa is coming, we'll see. Because I do not doubt, because Fifi comes from the symbol that I also come from. But unfortunately, the house he's in is full of familiar spirits. I don't know. So Okoboy, you have a very tough task. Okoboy and Chamakuka, and all the other people who have not yet been filled with the familiar spirit, you have a huge tax. You understand? As to whether or not they can succeed in sacking the familiar spirit from their party is a question that
But please let me read a few messages from our viewers. Sherry Giovanni says, good morning. Now, it seems that my brother Elikem is a little confused. The MPP regional elections were very peaceful, instead of acknowledging that he's mixing up the issues, or did he? I think you agree that it was peaceful. Also, I don't understand why Mr. Kutin is more aggrieved than the bereaved. If the NPP went in for a machine building, as he has alleged, what's his discomfort about that? He should leave the party and congratulate all the elected officers instead. Okay. Musa Abattoir from Masawasi says, the just ended NPP regional elections show a clear top-down approach with a flag bearer elected before polling station, constituency and regional elections. This arguably undermines grassroots participation and raises questions about internal democracy, meaning the NPP may have effectively shot itself in the foot. My regards to Dr. Mobafo. All right. This one from Bolga, landlord from Bolga D-Line says, a man who couldn't win his own polling station is issuing warning alerts to the great NDC. Congratulations anyway to my brother Figo, Upper East Regional Chairman. Bolga D-Line, we need further and better particulars on this message that you have sent us. And I'll read one last one from Aziz Donla from WA, who says, congratulations to all the newly elected executives of the NPP. However, this election doesn't add any significance to the 2028 general elections because the product that they will be selling will be a very difficult one to buy. In fact, the NDC is so tenacious. So as, okay. Thank you. Thank you for sending that in. I was coming to you, Putin.
In fact, I want to place it on record here for information. Fifi, I spent 22 years of my youth as an NPP activist. It's well documented.
Yes.
It's because of, listen.
Allow him to
because of the familiar spirit lawyers spoke about.
Oh, you agree?
That the last election, I contested the Saboba seat as an independent candidate.
Meaning you are no more a member.
And I was second on the records. I beat your candidate, a ruling government candidate, just because of this familiar spirit.
You are not a member of the MPP. That's established. Can you proceed?
No, but look,
22 years of his life.
22 years of my life.
A former member of a party. It's not the same as a member of the party.
Look,
now you do not.
So can I proceed? Can I proceed? You see, the sense of entitlement within the party is one too many.
On whose part?
On the MPP part. Even in opposition. Look, over the weekend, I was on a platform. An MPP communicator told me I wasn't a member. Do I have a party card? So is that how you draw people to your party? Look at the people who left the party. You were one, Solo, Ebo Bachman. Even look at the NDC side. When Honorable Haruna was a student leader, he was an MPP person. Okujato Ablakwa. Omani Bwama.
The late Omani Bwama, yes.
Yes. So if you don't organize yourself and nurture talent, and you are always about personal interest, who doesn't have an interest? But there must be a collective one. Look at Paul Afoko. Look at Boachi Ajako. They are now gunning to become national chairman, right? I can guarantee you. I knew why I said it's a machine building exercise. It was not a contest of ideas. I'm stating here on authority that all the aligned candidates that the flag bearer wants will win the national elections. There's no doubt about it. In the Ashanti region, let me tell you what happened. In the Ashanti region, Goka is an extraordinary individual and he's a grassroots person. In the case of the Eastern region, there is no way Jeff can lose when Brian is around. So don't let us deceive ourselves that there were candidates, the candidates supported and they didn't win. There was no way Kokofu could win the Ashanti region elections. That was why behind the scenes, they had to split, go here in case. I can tell you on authority, the same thing happened during Nabo's elections. You remember against Samba, when Buru Nabo had an accident and brought the accidental car to the stadium. The new Bantam, Samba was winning the grassroots, What did they do? They supported here and supported here. We are politicians. Don't let us do this to ourselves. We need a very good opposition party that can put NDC in checks. At the moment, I'm an independent. That's why I speak my mind now. I'm fed up of doing the politics. The politics will cage you, and you cannot freely express yourself. So that's why I have chosen to be an independent. And I'll still contest my seat as an independent candidate and not on the MPP ticket. So when we are talking about the party, it's not as if we hate the party. We are constructively criticizing the party so that you listen.
Why are you only able to criticize after leaving the party?
Because when you are in and you talk, they whip you. I suffered it. When
it's not everybody they whip.
When my organization took the MPP, my crime, I'll say it today, the U.S. military agreement. That I'm the executive director of the Africa Center for Security and Counterterrorism. And my organization wanted to call that agreement was not good for the country. That was my sin. 2020, they disqualified me. So is that
the reason?
Of course, when I went for the vetting, and I'll state it, and I'm challenging you. You can take me to court. So this guy, he's from Tema. He was the second vice chairman. Samia Uku and Kosef were involved in this matter, and I asked them, if I'm the executive director of an organization, we have a board, and there's a matter of interest in the security space, and we take a stand. How do you whip me in line? Is the African Center an MPP affiliate? That's why when Papa Uku, Akume and Co were put to investigate why we lost certain seats, he was so lively why I was disqualified. So tell me, Fifi, if as an independent candidate, I can beat your candidate, a sitting government in power. What does that tell you? You are subverting the will of the people. It means you are just trying to impose somebody that people didn't want. And that is the cardinal sin of the MPP. And look at your numbers. It's dwindling and dwindling and dwindling. And MPP is going back to its old. How can a formidable party like the MPP, a party in power, go for an election and an opposition overwhelm you and you win 41%? That should have humbled you.
The party has taken time.
That should have humbled you.
The party is rebuilding.
All right.
So
we are rebuilding and reorganizing.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what we are doing.
Okay.
Did
you say capture?
Oh, definitely.
The tables will turn.
Oh yeah, the table. Only, I know we have to talk about the life.
Yeah, we have exactly 8 minutes to go, and I think we've come to. I think we've come to you already.
No, you've not.
Yeah, we have.
I think we have.
No, it's going round. So no, it's going round twice.
Two speeches.
No, all of us have two. So I've had only one.
I asked a specific question about the Ashanti region. Of course,
yes, I think you haven't.
Yes, I wanted to say that it goes
and then
beyond.
I'll come to Eleke.
Yeah, it goes beyond the Ashanti region. My region has elected Ignatius Afifa as a regional chairman, Bonzo and the others to man the region. But the Ashanti region, you ask specifically. I know Kuka very well. Kuka is a friend. Excellent guy. Kuka. Excellent guy. When it comes to proper human relations, that's the go-to guy. Kuka. And you see, politics, you cannot rule out people with human relations. Yeah. And that's the guy. You see, I do not want to dwell on the debate about the regional minister and then his social media antics. Social media is like a movie. You are a movie star. Movie is made to believe. It's not real.
I didn't refer to social media though. I'm referring to his on the ground
it's the social media
live activation that we all see.
Social media antics made to believe settings.
Settings.
Oh, settings. You know there are a lot of content creators in this government.
You didn't. Oh, pardon.
The NDC government. A lot of content creators.
You didn't see his activation with the paint, painting the city with the young secondary school students.
Now, when it comes to politics,
you cannot. We cannot deny his appeal to the
content creation.
It's content creation.
Oh, content creation. They are creating content. Allow them to create content. Allow them to do live TikTok. The reality will be felt. That is a style. Grant him. But I don't think that winning party power is dependent on how much content you create on social media. That's not it. Coca is not like the person who is always going around talking, but so effective, so efficient, and I'm super excited that in the stronghold of the MPP, he has been elected as chairman. Of course, he's not going to do the work alone. He has other people who are going to support him to get the work done. There are also going to be parliamentary candidates who are also going to ensure that they work together with the executives in the constituency. Because you see, if you are also not careful, you dwell on personalities and individuals. And I think that working as a political party is not just about an individual. If the whole emphasis is just on one person, you make a mistake. Different people will play different roles, and people do different things in a political party. There are those who will communicate, there are those who do the organization, there are those who do mobilization, fundraising, and among other things. The expectation is that when you are a leader, you identify people who can help you in delivering that. So who can help communicate better. Kesken, who has been elected the Ashanti Regional Communications Director, excellent guy. And it seems that I'm focusing too much on the Ashanti region. There are several other places, like I said, my own region, the Western region, the people who have been elected, the Greater Accra region, the Northern region, Uti, and other places. My friend, let me congratulate him, Buba, who has been elected as the Afro Regional Chairman. So all I expect from the people who have been elected is to see this as an opportunity to serve the party. Okay. When you have that opportunity, what you also need to do is to also identify people who have the skills, the talent, and then the preparedness and commitment for the party. Bring them on board, and let us also move away from, okay, during the process, this person did not support me, or you perceive this person to align with somebody else. The interest is to ensure that by 2028, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is elected president of our country. And if you are elected, that must be your duty, and that is what the charge you have to take on and then work to ensure it happens.
Can we have the final word?
Is it the same Bawumia you're talking about?
Oh, yes. The excellent economist, excellent person.
It appears when you're in opposition, he's a very good economist.
He has always been.
When in power,
he has always been.
Manage the economy, regardless, anyways. I must say that the Ashanti region, where, for one, I don't know those who were elected. I don't know much about them. But I want to believe that there's been an upscale from Chairman Wontumi to somebody who probably has some relevance, probably more respected, dignifying of that title or of that position. And if the words of Fifi that he is very affable, has good human relations, are anything to go by, then we look forward to that. But to conclude again, say that the regional minister was involved in content creation, etc. I mean, you as a media person should be the last person to even run down content creation.
I'm not running it.
If you talk of even content, what is content? So if somebody is even creating content on social media, that is the defeatist approach to you. It means you have no solution to social media presence. And if you do not know that majority of the young folks today live on social media, then you have already even failed from the word go. And so, you see, it is a reason why I am not surprised, and I kept saying from the very beginning that they keep doing the very old things and they're expecting the new results. They do not find any value, even in the new age media. They do not find anything, they don't find value there. They believe it must be the buga buga. That is why they will elect the likes of Chairman Wontumi and you get me. But content creation, I mean, you are also admitting you are in that space. What exactly is wrong with content creation anyways? So if today you sit and say that what they are doing is content creation, yes, they are creating proper content. They are creating content for Ghanaians to know what the government is about. And so if the regional minister, Frank Amwakohini, takes to social media, he doesn't just go there and talk gibberish. He talks about projects. He talks about programs. He talks about his intention. He engages. And he makes sure that he is always relating for them to know that I am available not only in the office, but because some of you cannot even reach me, I am equally available here online, and you can reach out to me. But the MPP opposes that. They do not find the media space to be that relative. I am not surprised. There were times they even boycotted the TV3. So they feel they must always go only to the ground.
I was forced at Oman FM 2 TV. The NDC boycotted it, so it's no news.
Yeah, we have done that on purpose and principle, and we still buy it till date. So why haven't you made a U-turn? You see, the point is because you guys are good at U-turns.
When it's about you, it is right. When it's not you,
and we have remained so. We have remained so. Have we gone back to your
I have not.
No, we have not gone back. We've maintained that.
You have boycotted an assassin. So you are the last person to talk about.
We have stuck by that decision. And that is why we are still stuck by it.
But you make a person who is known to be MPP, you boycott it. And you come and sit here to say that the MPP boycotted TV3 is a reason for somebody to
all right, that's our time. That's our time. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time here this morning. I tried to read some of the messages that you sent through. I apologize for not being able to read all of them, but our conversation this morning has been on the regional elections held by the opposition MPP across the country as they reorganize and get ready for elections 2028. I apologize that we're not able to get into our streetlights conversation, but we do have a feature for you on Tema. All right, on Tema and the streetlight situation over there. We will bring you more on the streetlights tomorrow on Newday, and so forgive us for not getting into it this morning. Now, if you haven't catch up this morning, please dial *439# and win 500 Ghana cedis going out to 3 of you this morning. This is our first draw of the morning. If your phone number is 0541 652 ****, then please check your Momo balance now. You have just received 500 Ghana cedis. We'll do 2 more draws before the show ends this morning. We'll try to do it before the show ends this morning. But you stay with us. When we come back, we have sports. Arsenal is in the news this morning and more for you on TV3.
Lishan is here with the scarf of the team I call proper.
World title shot. So if he had won, he would have been closer to a world title shot. But unfortunately, he lost because of disqualification. He was disqualified.
morning. We are still talking about the absence of adequate street lighting across the country, and of course let's bring you the one from the Teshi area, because once again this is raising safety concerns on major roads and in the capital following Thursday's accident on the Achimota of Fanko Highway. Although the Accra-Tema Beach Road is undergoing major rehabilitation, portions of the stretch remain dark at night, raising questions about how road users can be kept safe until the project is completed. Samuel Adam has brought us this report.
It is after sunset, but sections of the Accra-Tema Beach Road remain busy. Vehicles move steadily along the stretch as commuters make their way home. Trotros stop to drop off passengers, while others continue their journey into adjoining communities. But beyond the headlights of passing vehicles, much of the road is poorly illuminated. As Sibi sells in the La Enclave, she recalls a robbery incident that occurred last week, which nearly put herself and her toddler in danger.
Street light here sometimes boys say be the moto nam. Now we say no matter. No matter bag, no message.
The absence of the street lights really worries us who sell around here. Sometimes armed robbers come here, and just last week one tried to snatch my bag. I called out for help, but no one came to my rescue.
For many commuters like Asibi who use that road, it is no news. They say the situation becomes particularly worrying during peak evening hours.
I pick car here most of the time, so I would say that it's really worrying. Recently we had a motor accident here. An old man got hit by a motorbike when he was crossing the road, and I learned later that he died.
Thieves around attacks us when there is no light, and sometimes when you are here alone and with no man or anybody to stand by you, those bad boys around attack us, so it affects us badly.
You can see right now here it's too dark. When even we close around 7:30 to 8 here, we are here to board a car to go to our village where we came from. It's really bad.
Drivers say the darkness is more than an inconvenience. According to them, it affects how they see and respond to what is happening on the road.
Once Santa ultimo kwana omoto no light nenya fault. And the street light no, I just say sometimes no we use car be light.
When in the middle of the journey and our lights goes off, we are left with no other option than to use that of the cars. When the flashes become plenty, we navigate with only experience. As drivers, we have to be extremely careful when driving, so that we do not knock anyone down on the road.
It's very bad because for some of us it poses the danger of your phones being easily stolen, especially if you are by the window sill like me and you are using your phone, like it can easily be snatched, and this street is noted for that. So with the absence of light, it increases that tendency of you having that theft.
The Accra-Tema Beach Road is an important coastal corridor linking communities from Accra towards Tema. The wider Beach Road project spans about 26.6 kilometers, with the Nungwa to Tema Community 3 section covering about 10.6 kilometers. Along the corridor are residential communities, schools, businesses, hotels, health facilities and other major institutions. Some residents and road users acknowledge that the rehabilitation works may have contributed to the current lighting situation. They, however, maintain that public safety remains paramount.
The reason why the street lights have not been worked on is simply because the roads have not yet been completed. So if the roads are completed, I hope the government will quickly take steps to complete the street lights as well.
For motorists using the Accra-Tema Beach Road at night, navigating this stretch can be a daunting experience. Several street lights are either not functioning or remain switched off, leaving portion of the road poorly illuminated. While some have linked the situation to delays in completion of the road, they are calling for urgent action to complete the project and ensure adequate street lighting is incorporated. Until then, motorists and residents continue to navigate this busy corridor in darkness, a situation they fear could have serious consequences if left unaddressed. Samuel Yabua Adams, TV3 News, Accra.
And of course, remember that we're bringing you this story because of what happened on Thursday. 12 people dying because of the situation on the Ofankor-Achimota Road. Our colleague, Christian Yale, was there earlier. He brought us a report. We want you to watch this again.
Right, so I'm standing at the spot, the exact spot where the multiple vehicle crash happened on Thursday early morning at 4 a.m. As I speak, my time is 5:27 a.m. And you realize that this entire stretch is in darkness. None of the street lights on this stretch, and indeed, all the way from Achimota towards the Pokwase side, this is not the first time that I have been here. I remember that in 2024, on multiple occasions, I came on this stretch to report about the street lights and the darkness all over this place. Driving across or all along the Achimota Pokwase stretch, like I said, which is about 16 kilometers in the evening, at night, or early morning at dawn, like I find myself here right now with the team, you realize that it is increasingly a death trap, and it is increasingly difficult, and visibility is key or is important to road safety. That is the point we are making here. When you read the Road Traffic Act 2004, Act 683, and also when you read the Road Traffic Regulations 2012 LI 2180, they place emphasis on ensuring that hazards on our roads are minimized, with authorities obligated to provide road infrastructure that does not expose users to avoidable danger. And the word here is avoidable, team. Under Section 4 of the Street Lighting in Ghana Policy Framework 2011, MMDAs again are to own, install, and maintain street lights. And that is what establishes the framework for funding through a revised street lighting levy, which is collected as part of electricity bills, like I said. And so citizens would always question, and it is legitimate to question, why we regularly would make payments for these levies for electricity bills. However, we do not get the benefits thereof.
Yeah, me Shenkani, I'm a driver called Accra to Kumasi. Now, Andrew accident is still a Hanamono. A farmer, be can say light and Yajumaka on a accident, and so a happy. Say, street light near Juma, now light in your crab, beer. Car says Bian, Uber who said car says you. And I want Accra to Kumasi, and Namson, Yaquan yet. Quina say, and a car crash says he can so on Baba Chicken and my cry. Me imagine my judge say, I don't know, all the cars no Essani ever. What speed a full overhead no. I can we around so home. You'll be able to slow down and some full overhead no.
When you go further to even the Pokwase interchange, which was commissioned just about 4 years ago, you know, when that one was commissioned in the night at dawn like this, when you use a stretch, it was so beautiful. It was so amazing that you get to enjoy the beauty of that stretch. Now, when you get there around this time, it is a different picture. It is a different story altogether. We have come here to show you what it is, and hopefully we'll get authorities to react to ensure that this important road, the National Road 6, the N6, gets the necessary lighting that it deserves to get. I am Christian Yale from the Ofankor barrier.
Report from the Ofankor barrier by Christian Yale on the street light situation and the accidents, inconvenience to road users, pedestrians, and the safety of the residents in that area. We received similar reports about the Teshi Accra Tema Beach Road, the Teshi Bush Road, some parts of Oyarifa, some parts of the Aimensa Peduasi Highway, among other places. If you live in any of these such areas, you may let us know exactly what the situation is there, or any other area which we have not mentioned or covered. We are introducing a series on street lights
and the safety concerns and risks to you, persons who live in such neighborhoods or in such areas or use those roads to and from work every day. Let us know. We will activate the phone lines, or you may send in your messages. Our WhatsApp number is active, so you can let us know exactly what the situation is where you are. Beatrice, you did mention some of the areas that we put up that you have experienced or encountered some difficulties at night.
Of course. I mean, from last week Friday, when we started talking about this seriously, I did mention like the Mahama Road, where, you know, for a long time as well, especially around where you see the statue of Captain Mahama. Okay. It's just so dark, and it's been there for months. I don't know whether I can say years, because I've used it a number of times, and it's always very dark. And this morning you mentioned a very important road as well, which is the Ebri, what we call the Ebri Highway. Yeah. And so it looks like the problem is not just limited to, you know, where the Ofanko area where we had the accident. Yeah. We've just brought us a report on the Teshi Beach Road, and that place also hasn't had lights for a long time. And I used to use that road frequently. That's where you have the Nautica, that college there. And so it's really widespread problem that I'm hoping that we'll be able to deal with. And I think that from last week when we started talking about people from across the country as well started giving us reports. It was only in one area in the Upper West region where somebody said the MCA had done well restoring broken down traffic and lights and all of that. But aside from that, majority of places in the country seem to have this very problem of lights, really. And so we are joined by video call now by he is actually with the Bureau of Public Safety, Samson Deklu. He's the technical lead for built environment, and he joins us by video call now. Hopefully he can hear us. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us. Hello, Mr. Deklu. We can see you, but we can't hear you. Please unmute for us so we can have
Good morning. And thanks for having me as well on your show, and greetings to your viewers as well.
Talking about street lighting is not a new thing, and I know that you do a lot of research into safety among others. Tell us to what extent this is a problem nationwide beyond the ones we've brought report on.
Thank you very much. I mean, like you rightly mentioned, this is not a new thing we are experiencing. I mean, it's been around us for quite a long time, and the extent to which it affects our lives, I mean, we can't even downplay it. I mean, the recent one that we saw, I mean, when you have very dark streets, what that means is that you put everyone using that particular stretch at risk in terms of getting accidents. I mean, of our court case is just one in many that has gotten the nation's attention. If you drive from the Barnyard, if you are very familiar with the Barnyard stretch, all the way through Awisha Blekuma, and you use the Pokwasi stretch, even to Kwabenya Junction, the place is so dark that during the night, you are just depending on your headlamps. And you know that stretch, people crossing and out of it every now and then. So we just can't downplay on the effect it's having on our daily lives as a people. And most of us who work even in the city come back home mostly in the evenings. So you can imagine driving at night and your visibility is impaired. You can just imagine what that means to you as the road user. And even those who are not even driving at night, those who are walking, if you don't take care, you might even knock down someone. And that might not even be an intentional. That might not be intentional. But I mean, because you don't have pure visibility, you end up causing a lot of issues on the stretch. So for us, we think it's something that we don't need to even be hammering on. I mean, even with the fact that we pay every month for street lights, this should be something that we should be discussing. I mean, not at all. Not on the fact that citizens are even paying for it on a monthly basis. So the effects are dire. I mean, we've lost lives. Lives are being lost every now and then. If, like you mentioned, your report states a number of roads. I mean, if you delve further, you can. It's a canker. It has not become a canker for us. It's like a cancer we are fighting now. And every now and then we try to do an aspect of it, then leave the remaining. It's becoming one too many of an issue for us now to solve.
When we talk about this, we hear people tell us about the theft of the street lights that we obviously we put on our streets. Why do you think we've been unable to deal with this problem over the years?
You see, the aspect of theft is just one small part of the whole problem we are facing. We get it? Yes, I mean, there are issues of that. We have not been able to do so because, I mean, it is only happens at night when other street lights are not functioning. So when the areas are very late, I don't think a criminal or a thief will go climbing that street light of more than 3 meters high, just remove the bulbs out of it. And mostly it's the cables that they cut that makes the light dysfunctional. So when we have measures totally in place, I'm sure the amount of these things are just minimal aspect of it. The major issue probably might go into the quality of the street lights that we are installing on our stretches and how often we even maintain them. I remember during the COVID time, a stretch from Barnyard all the way to Ablekuma Cave, all the street lights were changed. And to date, they are still not functioning, even when they were changed from old ones to new ones. So there's a fundamental problem we will need to be solving, because we can't associate everything happening to the street light to just theft. That might be an aspect of it. But the other aspect that we need to be looking at, how routine does the assemblies go around to check that which one is functioning? The ones we are installing, how easily are they for us to replace and maintain? Do we have to replace the whole system or just the bulbs can be replaced? We need to look at all those things also as well in ensuring that
Hello, Mr. Deklu.
Our streets and our roads are very safe for us to use.
You talk about quality of the, yes, we can hear you. You talk about quality of the bulbs as well as maintenance. To what extent do you believe investigations into these two areas that you talk about would help resolve the problem? Hello, Mr. Deklu.
Please, I didn't get the question. Can you
yes, I was asking you. You mentioned quality.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, you mentioned the quality of bulbs that we have, and even the maintenance of the street lights themselves. You seem to have downplayed the issue of theft when it comes to the street lights, the cables, among others. And I'm asking you, to what extent do you believe launching investigations, for instance, into the quality of procurement and maintenance would help deal with this problem?
Okay, so I'm not totally downplaying on the theft aspect of it. Like I actually mentioned, that the stealing of the cables also go a long way to affect the functioning of it. But we need to also go beyond just that to be able to ascertain whether the ones that we are installing, we can easily replace them, we can easily maintain them, and how we even safeguard the cables within the system, so that it doesn't give access to these miscreants to have an easy way around it. The theft, yes, but we need to also do a further level of it to be able to make sure that maintenance of these street lights are easy. You get my point? Because if you bring in a system that when it is faulty, you have to change the whole system again, it becomes very expensive. But if you can change just a component of it, it becomes easy for us to maintain. It's like the bulbs in our homes, where you can change the actual bulb and not the whole casement. It's easier for you to maintain, and the cost is even more effective rather than changing everything in a whole. So, those are the angles we need to also look at in dealing with these issues.
You described this very problem as a cancer and also a canker that we have to deal with. What will it take for us to deal with it?
It will take action. Our authorities need to act. Because it is only because we have the policies, we have the guidelines, we have the rules that deal with people who even doing when there are car accidents and someone runs into this and gets destroyed. There are guidelines to it. We need to implement this policy. We need to probably value our lives as road users more than just looking on for the things to get deteriorated. We need to value our life, and we need to act. Our authorities need to act now. We don't have to wait for another of encore to happen before we are taking action. We don't have to wait for 12 people to die. We don't have to wait for neighbors to be complaining, because we are paying for this every month. Everybody pay. Once we are paying light bill, you are paying for a street light. So why should I be driving on a road that has a street light? It means that someone is not being accountable for whatever monies I'm paying. And our authorities need to act on this so that our lives are protected.
I did mention earlier that the Bureau of Public Safety, you do a lot of investigations into some of these things, even including fires. Is this something that interests you, and what action, if yes, do you intend to take to ensure that you're helping with, getting authorities to act as they should?
Okay, so for us as a bureau, whenever we have the platform to meet authorities in these cases, what we do mostly is to advocate and to also to probably, for lack of better words, to push them to be able to act on some of these things. Investigations are mostly not at our level. We do more advocacy and speaking to the right authorities when some of these issues come up. We've had engagement with the assembly, engagement with fire service and people who are in charge of some of these things when they come up. So at that level, we keep pushing and we keep speaking and we keep advocating. And also even advocating for our community dwellers that will report any of such incidences. When you find someone tampering with a street light, or when you suspect someone doing anything unauthorized on the street light, that's the only way that we can also police this infrastructure to be able to protect all of us.
But to what extent, I was asking you the question in line with advocacy, because I know you do advocacy work. To what extent are you willing to go with this to ensure that we solve this problem?
I mean, probably after this call, the Bureau will also meet to see what actions we can take in speaking to the right authorities to know how we can also help to ensure that, the right things are being done in safeguarding our lives and the road users also as well.
All right, we'll have to end it here. Thank you very much. Mr. Samson Deklu, he's the technical lead for built environment with the Bureau of Public Safety. I mean, it takes all of us, CSOs, NGOs, whichever category, to ensure that...
I think it's high time we made scapegoats of people who we see stealing these streetlights.
Yes.
I know that earlier he from his comments, it appeared it wasn't a major concern. I mean, he subsequently tried to explain that it's something they'll try to handle.
Yeah.
But it's high time we made scapegoats, because sometimes the community folks see these people climbing the street lights, removing bulbs and so on. Sometimes they are known. And these street lights are sold. Who are they sold to?
And I thought we even installed CCTV cameras around.
Precisely.
So are they not capturing the thieves, as
It's
it were?
possible to find these people, because yes, there is the problem of the lack of street lights in some areas. But then again, there are some which are installed in some other areas. And for us who have seen a video of someone carrying the whole street light on his shoulder, and it was still on. The light was on, and we're making jokes about it. It's high time we made, scapegoats of some of these people. This has to stop. It's something that's supposed to protect all of us.
And then you go and take it and sell.
And steal it. I really, sometimes, I don't understand how some of us think.
I mean, the understanding is that the police cannot be everywhere catching all these people, but of course that's where the community watchdog becomes very relevant.
And you also mentioned the
CCTV cameras. Are we watching them? Are they functioning? Just so that we are able to fish out these individuals. It may be you may call it tiny theft, but at least when somebody is held accountable, the next person who is watching will know that if I'm caught when I go do it, I would equally be in such a situation. You see that
street lights are installed on the motorway.
Yes.
The very next day, it's pitch black.
Yes.
And it doesn't happen once or twice. It's constant. It's constant. It's high time these people are brought to book, made examples of, to deter other people. Because they're empowered when they feel that,
of course,
nothing
nobody
will
watches.
be done. Yeah, they're empowered when they feel that nothing will be done.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll continue to bring more of details and stories on areas that need street lights urgently. We have received some calls from Tashin Bush Road, the Accra-Tema Beach Road, and the motorway.
Yeah.
And some areas in Oyarifa, Bush Road to La, from Tashin Bush Road to La. among other areas. So if you're watching and your area also has no street lights or any of the streets or roads that you use, you commute to and fro to work and so on, please let us know. All right, our WhatsApp number is active and we will follow up. Shall we do some birthdays now?
Of course, yes. If it's your birthday, like we always do it here, we'll help you to celebrate it very big and in a special way. So, yes, we can help you celebrate. One of our colleagues, I call him the Ray. He's Raymond. He said it was his birthday today. So, Raymond, happy birthday to you, and for all of you celebrating your birthdays. Yes, who are those? Okay, so we'll do the birthdays very shortly. But attention, all parents of first-year SHS boarding student. EduPac, the Ghana Education Service approved and supported national SHS initiative implemented by Prospectus Ghana, is now in progress across Ghana. Parents across the country are already registering so that their children's trunk, Macintosh, mattress, pillow and plastic chop box will be ready and waiting at their school before reporting day. So do not delay and be caught in the usual last-minute market rush, carrying heavy items under pressure. Now with EduPac, your child does not need to travel to school with these 4 essential items. To register, simply dial *713*821#, visit any ADB branch or go to www.edupacgh.com. Make payment, keep your receipt and present it on opening day to collect all your child's EduPac items. Your EduPac registration follows you to any SHS you are placed in. So avoid the stress, avoid the rush, prepare with confidence, all at a very affordable price. EduPac approved and supported by the Ghana Education Service. For more information, you can always call 0500 600 607 or 0302 955 050. Remember, EduPac, no stress, no wahala. Now let's help you celebrate your birthdays today. Okay, before that though, we promised 500 Ghana cedis.
Yes, we've given one.
Oh, we've given one. Okay. So the next one is about to win something good for the beginning of the week. That's amazing. Okay. And there you have it, 0248 668, and the last 3 numbers. I'm sure if it's your number, you know which are the last 3 numbers. Congratulations to you for winning.
Yes. So 1,000 cedis gone, and we'll send one more 500 cedis. So if you played, please keep an eye on your Momo inbox. The money will drop. But in the meantime, if it's your birthday today, we're wishing you a very happy birthday. These are our celebrants for today. All right. It's our director's birthday.
Yes, yeah. Harriet. Okay, Harriet Asumda.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Fantastic director.
Our favorite director. Hi, Coco.
Coco will not be happy with you.
she's my plug for granite paste.
Oh, me too. Yes. I bought some last week. Yes. Harriet, happy birthday to you. And we're wishing you all the best for the year. A great year starting from today.
Amen.
Yes, may it be really the best of the best days that you've had.
Amen. Amen. We love you so much,
Congratulations. Yes, we love you. Now let's see the rest. Okay. Oh, Komala.
So many celebrants in house.
Yes. Komala, presidential correspondent. May the good Lord bless your new age from all of us here at Media General. Happy birthday to you, Komala. Jude Barry Junior, much love from Mommy, Daddy, and Julia. Happy birthday to you. Constance Mensah, happy birthday. Age with grace and more wins. Happy 92nd. Wow. Birthday to... that's Coco's grandmother. Wow. Coco is our director here. To Mrs. Florence Adai Shandoff, from the entire family, God bless and continue to keep you in good health. Wow, 92, and she looks strong.
Yeah, very strong.
In that picture, wow. Daniel Kweku Emisa, God bless your new age, Daniel. Happy birthday to you. Eyuram Kamali Anku of Treasures Christian School in Ho in the Volta region. God continue to guide and protect your journey into a resourceful man for himself and country. What a prayer. Happy birthday to you. Mavis Techi, cheers to grace and profound happiness. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Denzel. Kobina Paddy Kofi. of KNUST. God bless you. And this is from your dad and your mom and your siblings to you. Happy birthday, Wadega. Third runner-up, GMB 2021. God bless you, Missy. All of us here at Media General wish you well. And Reverend Nana Jumosa Pong, President of Friends of Rivers and Water Bodies. Happy birthday to you. Hot cousin, Reverend Emmanuel Atukwefio, aka Papa Shango. Happy birthday to you, sir. And to Wisdom, Yanana Ntam at Petrosols. Happy birthday to you. It's from your daughter to you, Mayfia. God bless you immensely. Lovely picture there, Mayfia.
Yes.
And CEO of Tiang Couture in Kumasi. Happy birthday to you. God bless you. It's your 40th. That's a big one.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Jill Amadou Boafo. Happy birthday. God bless you abundantly. Gloria Yaute of 3 Sports. I think she took this picture this morning.
I saw the background and it looks like, I was like, okay, this is the Media General background.
Happy birthday, Gloria Yaute.
Yes.
God bless you. Efwa Ansa Isiedu, manager of Coconut Grove Hotel of Boase.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Efwa. Mrs. Benita Isiedu from your husband, Owusu Isiedu to you. Happy birthday to you. Cyril, God bless your new age. Cheers to greatness. From First Lady and Justice to you. Joshua Nyakun.
Oh, yeah.
He's here. He's
a guy. Have you seen the post?
Big man, Charlie. I like this picture.
The post.
Joshua, God bless you.
Yes.
God bless you abundantly. Amen. All right.
Okay.
And a very special happy birthday going out to Jehoshabeth Adelaide Amenya of Unimac. And this is from Kweku, KKB, especially going out to you, Jehoshabeth. Enjoy your day. If it's your birthday today and we didn't send you shouts, this is a special one for us, from us to you. Happy birthday to you. Yes. God bless you. And also, happy birthday to Professor Itia of the University of Ghana School of Law. It's your birthday today from Benedicta Ama to you. Happy birthday, Prophet Tia, from Benedicta Ama to you. Celebrate your day in grand style. God bless you, sir, abundantly. Any more birthdays?
No, I think
that's
done.
it.
Yes.
All right.
So happy birthday to all of you. See you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. My name is Beatrice Edu. Now.
Oh, I'm anointed from the